here. They do like to trickle in towards that B bomb side as flusha, just showing some tendencies towards long, but it will be a full commitment here. dupreeh already fired off most of his bullets, but still gets the first kill. Golden answers back, and Glaive and Mage is still ready and waiting on the B side.
Yeah, Glaive's just jiggling so the Magis can take the fight. Now he's actually hitting the shots he needs to. Crim's down to 2. Should be finished by Magis. JW, however, not interested in losing this round, has got access back to the B site. Rotates come in, bomb will be retrieved, and suppressing shots from flusha enable the retrieval of the bomb. Crossing could be deadly. He does get across. Device and Glaive, they might want to contest. The smoke has bloomed by the doors, means that window is the most likely avenue of assault, and straight through the smoke, flusha has struck, often the word I would have used, and ZiPhX trying to strike again.
Oh, it's such a Fnatic round, this one. The way they're winning it as well, just by the skin of their team. JW has snuck out the doors here. The bomb is getting to a very difficult position for Astralis to actually retake this one. They have no kick currently. They're trying to find him. They have no idea where he is. This is a horrible round of CS. No one really connecting. JW, though, he's done enough, as they will close it out. It's the scrappiest round you're ever likely to see, but Fnatic somehow pull it out of the hat. Astralis had all the advantages in the world, but a lot of whiffs there, Chad.
Yeah, well, I'm glad it's that duo of JW and flusha to close it out. We pointed them out on the board at the start of today. Yesterday, they were influential in picking up that victory against FaZe. They are the second and third highest rated players just from stage 2. So we're only looking at yesterday's games. It's great if they can continue this form.
Device on the scout, who's been known to cause quite a lot of strife for Tees, who feel like a fight middle early into the second round. He is on the force, of course. You can see there's going to be 2 scouts in play. And who is that cheeky beaver? That was actually Golden, in almost faking the presence on the B side of the map. He did cross back, and now Molotov forcing Device into a more passive line.
Well then, Fnatic up against the force buy here of Astralis. The 2 scouts, it's Glaive and Device, not Device and dupreeh. That double orb setup will come out though eventually. dupreeh has been trying to mold himself into a secondary sniper now for the last year or so. Finally coming to fruition, we're starting to see him having some very impressive results, especially on Dust 2. As the A-take will be coming through, you can see the reposition from the CTs. They're going to be boosting up one of the scouts with the bomb side, but that has led them to their first and second death here. Golden, fantastic shots from him, but an even better one from ZiPhX towards short. Significant damage there on the cross as well. It is going to be a 4-on-3 in favor of Fnatic, but still a chance here for Astralis.
Yeah, and I think flusha is the make or break moment, because dupreeh, he's actually still heading back to B. Not sure what his plans and intentions were with that. He now will return to flusha's domain, and chances are his back's going to be exposed, as will ZiPhX. flusha. He squandered his shots and now tapping away. He needs to find the shot. He can't. On to JW, looking for the 1 versus 3. He's under a lot of scrutiny, but he does cross the line. 2 back-to-back 3K clutches. JW pulls home the second.
The fact that he is keeping his form is probably the most unique thing about JW, because his playstyle is very
erratic.
Yeah, and we never know what he's going to do. I don't think he does half the time. It's difficult to see him have 2 good days back-to-back. That was a problem we had during stage 1, Henry.
Absolutely. Performances against Big where they actually fell flat. JW wouldn't turn up at all, but right now he's firing on all cylinders and looking incredibly hot as he does win out yet another round here and find the 2-0 for Fnatic. This is a tactic we've been trying recently, boys. You go for the full CT stack at the beginning of the round. You assume that no one's going to be in this B side, then you put 1 flashbang in, all the CTs try and enter the B bomb, so the USPs, and hopefully you get a few kills. But unfortunately, Fnatic have got right up to the doors before they've even had a chance to kind of squander their chances here. JW not going to check the right, but he does in the end. It's going to be dupreeh and ZiPhX dropped here, and it looks like our logical conclusion of this round is coming in very quickly, with all 5 players surviving, barely taking any damage there. A nice idea from Astralis, but way too fast from Fnatic.
Will we see back-to-back 3Ks 4 rounds in a row from JW? I mean, already he's on this set. This time it's against the full buy. A little more of a tough ask. Let's see if the fragging is going to be more evenly distributed this round. Brolin's back on his signature weapon. We'll get to see more Krieg action into the 4th.
Yeah, he is an absolute demon with the Krieg. Well up there with one of the world's best. And they'll continue with the fast-paced gameplay, it seems. Fnatic will have 5 players towards the tunnel to kick things off. They love a contact B. We've seen this. We've casted a few of their games. They like to just walk in towards a bomb site, have a brawl, and make it work out for themselves. But for now, falling back, it's Crims who doesn't feel like this one is going to be necessarily working out for them, as the first kill is found. Device will take down JW. That's top and middle. So they are going to reposition this, and Crims the Mac 10 back towards long. 2 players middle doors.
Okay, from Brolan. He's got the lineup. and takes Device's AWP out of his hands straight through the door.
Yeah, it didn't sound like he had a helmet there, so it takes a lot more damage through the door from the Creek, and that's going to be an opening kill for Fnatic. Brings it back to a 4-on-4, and maybe they've got a bit more here. Mages recovers the AWP, but it's such a difficult shot. He flicks towards Catwalk, but it's Brolan who gets his second. Bomb to go down. Fnatic are high-flying right now. This looks fantastic.
They almost convinced all of us that it was a B, and then eventually changed their mind after the early frag. They send Crims on a long mission. He hasn't yet to find too much of an impact on this round, but the round has been won, and Glaive shooting corpses. That is no fun. You can see the shake of shame. We will see 4 on the board for the boys of Fnatic.
So we always talk about conditioning in the server with strategies and different pressure points and maybe players that you want to abuse, so you're going to force a lean from the CT side. Well, Fnatic have actually been doing conditioning outside of the server. So they've been making sure that, you know, they lose those first maps, and then teams just expect the first map to be a breeze. They come in, it's only like 30% they need to give, because Fnatic aren't going to be able to win anyway. But here, they're winning 4-0. So they've waited. They've really waited. These guys are very strategic. I didn't know that it went this deep, Henry.
Yeah, it's true. Yesterday, losing to FaZe 16-8 on Mirage to open things up, and the day before, they lost 16-2 to NIP on Overpass. It feels like it's a common trend for Fnatic, but right now, they've had enough of it. They thought, you know what? In Stage 2, we're going to play some proper solid Counter-Strike. We're going to start winning 2-0s instead of 2-1.
That's absurd.
Yeah,
we're going
to step things up a little bit
You're crazy.
Here. And we'll do it against one of the world's best here, Astralis. 4-0 for Fnatic so far as we get into round number 5. No AWPs available.
Again with Golden's B calls.
Here we
gets
go.
them in the halls early. This time they're just going to try and condition with some early utility. Flusher is going to stick around as well for a fight.
Oh,
no!
It's not even a fight.
No, that's a rather one-sided affair. That's bullying, if you ask me.
Straight up bullying.
This looks like a strat out of a casual server, right? You have your AWPer stay in T-spawn and everybody else just goes tunnels. There's no focus on the rest of the map. They haven't even needed to give Astralis anything to worry about, but Magus gone to Crims has given Fnatic something to worry about.
Okay.
4v4.
All right then, Mages through the smoke, does pull one back here, trying to drop a decent grenade for those doors as well. Going to land towards the Xbox. You can see if anyone was there, that would have done a ton of damage, but unable to connect, and maybe receiving a bit of damage himself. Mages still happy to challenge though. 72 HP, already got 1 kill to his name, being very combative towards middle, but the focus will be towards long now. Flusher has snuck out those mid doors. His teammates getting ready to attack the A bomb site. Flashbang to come over momentarily, and I'm sure they'll make their way in. There's the flash, and long is clear for now. ZipX to patrol with just a flash himself and an M4 from Car.
This frag onto ZipX is going to be everything. Look how much damage.
Yeah, that's insane. That's really unlucky. And Flush out, he's been in middle this entire time. So they get the aggro. The rotation from B comes through. The timing's off. And now it all falls apart. Even though ZipX did about 100 damage there on the corner. Flusher just being a nuisance, playing it perfectly, of course. And now it's just one player remaining. Dupree scrambles up towards Shore. Looks like he kind of fancies this one. He'll be actually challenging with the AK-47. Not sure why he wants to give the weapon up, but he does want to give it a go. Now locked in with the flames behind him. He's got 13 HP, and he continues his assault towards A.
Yeah, spots another one towards long. It's Brolan with low HP, and a flash and across towards the bomb site would apply a whole lot of pressure to force him to stay on the site.
That adjustment from Brolan guarantees the round now. Like, Dupree could have won this, I guess, with a few crispy one-taps. So the fact he's that close now, there's no chance of him touching the bomb. So Brolan will confirm the 5-0, and 3 players will survive.
Yeah, so within these first 5 rounds, Fnatic have found opening kills in 4 of them. Here's an example right there, a Flusher taking down Device without a chance. The only round they didn't find the opening kill was on the pistol round. It was Dupree who found the opening on that B bomb site, and he was immediately traded. So right now, things are looking very good for Fnatic in that regard. And as they go up against pistols and a scout and a few grenades,
Flusher got the long spawn. Yeah, I wonder if he's just going to go dart out the doors here. He is. Straight out the blue bin, straight away demanding respect of the long position. There is some good utility damage considering the half buy here. A couple of 5.7s worth noting, not opting for the full $700 pistol, just going for the charity shop version.
Probably a bit more spammy around those smokes with the 5.7, but the problem is Brolan and Flusher taking damage at long to those nades and the scout in play within the hands of Dupree. If he hits a scout bullet into the chest of either Flusher or Brolan, they will both immediately fall, and that's weapons loose.
Well, we'll see whether he can actually connect any of these dots there. In terms of the setup from Fnatic so far, very default. They've just smoked towards the mid doors, bombs down in the long area as Crims investigates the short position. There is a player there. That's going to be Device as he Molotovs off the corner. He's got Glaive directly beneath him. It all comes down to the timings here. Smoke dropped and Device Going for a nutmeg here, and actually works out for him. Sitting in that smoke, Crims will push through, and he's actually picked up the rifle as well. Not a big fan of the play from Crims, I'll be honest. Pushing the smoke didn't seem necessary by himself, and it could lead to their demise.
Lots of danger here right now. The time is starting to tick on down. Fnatic don't know where they want to go. JW misses a shot. Device, well, he had a chance to strike with the AK, but now he's evened it up.
Yeah.
Well, they're not thinking about the AK, though, at all, are they? That could be recovered. Now they are jumping up towards shore. They need to make sure that weapon isn't picked up by an Astralis player here. It's still a 4-on-3 in favor of the CT side, and they have 20 seconds on the clock. Glaive's going to get a kill here towards middle. He spotted the gun barrel, and it might get a little bit messier now, considering the AK spray preemptively firing around the corner. The scout going to struggle here. So is the AK. Who comes out on top here? I'm not really
10
sure.
seconds.
Golden.
Where
And
is
it's going to
the
be
bomb?
10 seconds. They have got enough time to plant. That will be okay. It'll be on the nose, but it's absolutely fine. You'll see the bomb go down with no problem. It has to read 4 on the clock for it to be successful. And you can see Made is just hiding in the corner. They're hoping they didn't have time, but ultimately they did.
Yeah, wow. That's another one of for the Fnatic playbook. We've seen them do this a lot, actually. The 20-second chaos, it seems to be where they are at their calmest.
He was running from the brick box at, what, 12 seconds into the site? So you can tell that's a very last-minute decision there from Fnatic, but it paid off because the CTs with the lower pistols eventually had to hedge. And now if Niggas can pick up Golden, that would have been a nice little weapon to carry on forward, but not necessary right now. Max loss bonus on the side there for Astralis. They will be able to get the full buy with everything that they need. We're going to see the AWP come out in the hands of Device here. Will Dupree continue with that secondary AWPing setup we've been talking about? We'll find out after these highlights.
Golden. He had 6 bullets and went for the taps. I like that. He was up against the scout. Felt like he could take some advantages, but you can see he did get that bomb down in time. That was the crucial moment. JW has cooled off after his opening 9 kills in 3 rounds, but regardless, a 10-1 scoreline certainly reads positively for him. He's got a KD of 10.
Yeah, he's doing very well out there. We're going to have quite the showing here on Dust 2, and we do move into our double AWP setup for the first time here for Astralis. We talked about it, and Chad, Dupree's never been known as a secondary AWPer throughout his entire career. In the last year or so, it's kind of been brought into the Astralis machine. Are you a fan of it yourself? Do you feel like it's a requirement of this team to find success on Dust 2?
I think when Device had to sit out and he...
Oh, bye, that's...
He won't even... Never mind.
Not even going to get a chance to show us
We won't even talk about him with the MVP because it's not even going to be an option.
Oh, that's going to be a straight-up B commitment here, and through the flames they'll go. They know Major's at the door here unless he gets a double kill. The round's already over. And Flusher, he's just being an absolute monster here. They've already lost 2 players. Let them survive. Let them save something for the next round. Oh, God, it's going to get worse, I think.
Yeah, Glaive's going to cower after that one. He's just happy to have got the info. So they knows where one is, and it's just going to be retreating from that hot spot.
So Dust 2 really does lend itself to all of the traits of Fnatic if they show up.
Yeah.
If this team actually comes in playing the Fnatic game, they are going to win, hands down. The spawn-based, loose play style of Dust 2 really lends itself to the characteristics of the Fnatic players.
They're hunting right now. I just want to recap this because a few players probably will go down. But so far, besides those first 2 situations where JW had to win back-to-back clutches in rounds 1 and 2, the rounds have been very clean. Round 3, all 5 alive. Round 4, 4 players lived. Let's see how many go down here. Device clutch 1. Glaive's going to get...
Bravo.
Well, he gets 1. Glaive got 1 from that exchange right there. But it does do a little bit of damage. They saved double AWPs on the T side to note. But what I was trying to point out there for everybody is the majority of the rounds Fnatic is surviving with 3 or more players. That one right there was only 2, but they were trying to chase and take away those weapons. They're getting this done with ease. The rounds aren't messy. They're not having to play too many of these 3v3 mid-rounds like we've been seeing from Fnatic.
Well, has Golden taken the secondary here? It looks like he might be. Maybe just for the doors at the start?
Spawn, maybe? No, he doesn't have a gun at all.
Where did it go? There was 2 of them, and now there's 1 of them.
I don't know.
Anyway, I'll look at that in a second, because now Rollins charging straight up long, straight into the smoke. Glaive has no issues collecting. That's an express delivery of a Krieg.
Well, there's the secondary AWP now. That's been recovered. A bit of confusion here. You can see they are playing quite a loose game plan. It seems that they don't even realize they've got a double AWP set up. So there you go. Golden is proficient with the weapon. We have seen him pick it up a few times. And he heads towards long. This is looking good for a first Astralis round, though, as they do claim territory towards short. They've already got the opening pick, allowing long to be taken, which is fine.
You'd hate to fumble around over miscommunication of a gun, though, wouldn't you? Because he went into that round with a P250 in hand, meaning he knew the AWP was coming, just couldn't find it. It delayed the start, kind of put them 10 seconds behind the 8 ball. And
Roland was way out long, maybe with more support if everyone
more
was
flashes,
on the same page.
more smokes.
Yeah, absolutely. Certainly not the round you're looking for if you're Fnatic, but they are 7-0 up. Haven't lost this one just yet. The Device, he nails these ones, but yes, you're right, dead on. The fact that JW's hit that shot actually gives him a good chance, trying to use the flames to cross and successfully doing so. Glaive now knows two players are on towards the side. A bomb will be planted here, and he does decide to push the flames somewhat here, taking damage but applying pressure, and it should be an Astralis pickup here, no problem. Flashbang is excellent from dupreeh, and Crims now yet to find a frag, will be dropped as well as Astralis pick up their first.
Yeah, good shots all round. The Astralis individuals had to come alive, and they have. Their heart starts to beat, albeit just a blip on the life meter. What are they called? I need to go to a hospital and
A life meter?
What are those? You know the thing that goes...
Isn't it a heart monitor?
Thank you very much.
It's doing your heart rate.
There is a better name for it than that. That's
hospital heart monitor machine.
The beep beep thing, you know. He's
I know
dying.
what you're talking about. As you can tell, ladies and gentlemen.
I haven't been to a hospital since I was 8.
Yeah, and I'm not a doctor.
No.
So I'll keep the dissecting Counter-Strike for now.
Let's do the dissection in a virtual plane.
All right, so long this time they won't overcommit and give away an opening. It looks like they've gotten the ducks in a row as we have a single AWP out with 2 Kriegs, one for Brolin, one for Flusher, 2 AKs in the hands of Crims and Golden. So no issues with the buy and not much utility expended within the first 25 seconds of the round. Now the back and forth will ensue as the default spread across the map from Fnatic is starting to pressure Astralis. This is just the greeting of the round. They're saying hi, letting them know exactly where they are. And Brolin's going to tag up Zippy. He has to jump back now that Molly's come out.
Can't afford to commit to that corner. Likely going to be cleared out by the CTs should they group up, or the threat of it alone is enough to dissuade.
So we're going with ECG machine here, or electrocardiography, and or Holter monitor is what we've gone for.
ECG. Yeah. Okay. No more acronyms. Control taken.
It's a very standard A defense being set up by Astralis here. An anchor towards long of Glaive. 2 players over towards the A ramp to play off of each other when the execute comes on in. Keeping Glaive busy is very, very important right now.
Yeah. He's got 30 seconds on the clock and he's got long doors control. That's a very powerful position for a CT here. It means he can focus all of their efforts towards short. That's exactly where Fnatic are heading here.
Smoke missed.
Smoke has missed. He's going to make sure they have a great screen as they come through here. Device is going to start nailing these shots. Got a bit of a shooting gallery to make their way over towards A. The second one doesn't connect as they get closer and closer towards the bomb site here. The bomb on the back of Golden, who does make his way towards the default spot. Bomb down now. 5 versus 4 in Astralis' favor. They have no smoke for the retake, but they have flashes. But a double orb setup as well makes things very difficult.
CTs from CT, and he's jumped into them! They bring the fight to Astralis. You can't plan your retake. We're going to fight you in your spawn. Crossing now, JW as the flash fades, so does the light from Glaive's eyes. Device thrown into a 1 versus 2. Crossing CT should be impossible. That will be Flusher, and he confirms 8 for Fnatic.
I love that. No other team would drop down with flashbangs towards CT spawn, but it's actually the perfect move there.
Yeah.
They've got a double AWP set up. You're aware of that. They've done damage already, and they're just about to plan a retake here. They're about to pounce on you from multiple angles. You have no control towards long. Why not drop down there and challenge the double AWPs and find a few kills?
Yeah, just an example of what the communication for Astralis would have been at that point. They would have been discussing, you know, who's going to be nading where, what positions that they were potentially going to be clearing as they went on up. And before they could even get out of spawn, Fnatic made that decision for them. So
very cool.
They will be able to keep the buy train going. The double AWPs out yet again. But it's very tough for Astralis at this point. 8-1 down. Haven't said that many times in my career.
No, this is a whole new world out there. Astralis tested. Their individuals now are going to have to step up. I'm looking at dupreeh in response to the B, but...
Yeah. Just to note as well, Device is currently up 3-2 in opening duels, so they are 8-1 down. He is finding opening kills at AWP. They're finding openings, they're just not converting them. Yeah, it just doesn't seem to be landing. And we'll see now if ZipX will be tested again. This is another difficult buy for Astralis, although they do maintain the double AWP setup. We're yet to see it really come online, and we will continue to do so as dupreeh's taken out by Flusher's incredible Krieg.
Yeah, he did well there. Flash to jump across. ZipX, however, holding the mid for now. Double flash push on the second.
Oh, he's gone through. He's done a lot of work there, but still, it's a 3v2 situation.
Where's that bomb going?
There's still one player in towards the B side, and that's Majors. Everyone knows he anchors towards B for Astralis, so your best move at this point probably go to the more exposed bomb side towards A instead of the solid anchor of Majors, who normally gets 1 or 2 towards B. We'll see what their final move's going to be at this stage. Still have the dribble smoke down, Mages with no real utility apart from that HE. He's got a flash as well now. If he can time the HE well and get a big spray down, it's enough. He'd have to be throwing it right now at this point, though. Considering it, here's the HE. Does it land, boys? It looks good to me. It might go straight behind them, though. They're already through. Ooh. It does a lot of damage, and it had to be just a few seconds earlier. Of course, he had no real idea of how close they were. Great idea. If he gets the good grenade through, big spray down afterwards, he probably gets all three.
I've been becoming more and more aware of how the trajectory of nades can completely actually kill you.
You noticed that, right?
Yeah.
As soon as he threw that, they all repositioned. They got the crosshair towards the back of the bomb site. So if he'd got it 5 seconds before, he might have had a chance, but ultimately gave away a spot.
Because they were just that extra bit advanced, they could straight up pinpoint where the only CT is likely going to be. I mean, it's dangerous stuff.
It used to be, back when I transitioned from 1.6 to Source, a lot of Source players would turn off the models once you kill a player, the ragdoll, people would have that disappear.
Yeah, you'd bind it to your like mouse 1 or something.
In Valorant, you could actually do that.
Yeah.
And I turned that off as well, just because it reminded me of Source. Yeah. Being able to see the bodies everywhere, it actually makes things a lot easier.
Well, I was going to explain why I didn't do that. And the reason I didn't do that was because the information of where the body was, you could see of where your teammate, what angle he was killed from, like with how the body was set.
Yeah.
Right? And it could give you clues on like how to approach the situation.
I found it hindered me more because all the ragdolls are client side
vision, yes.
And so if you have them on, there could be a case where they get a model that has landed at a different place to you. You're being blocked and they're obscured and they're not. I didn't ever want to take the risk one way or the other. If I've got them disabled, I might get an advantage by being aware of it, but I would never be at a disadvantage because of it. That's what I learned.
Yeah, that was a bit of a problem, right? And you would always try not to play around those models right there because they could do exactly what you were saying. Bit of an unfair advantage or disadvantage, depending on how you want to look at it.
And like even stuff like clearing the blood decals, the blood patterns.
I have to leave them on.
I've got them on my push to talk key.
Yeah.
Every time I push to talk, it clears all the blood
decals. Yeah. So it's so ridiculous sometimes. You're holding like when a black head peeks into the black blood on like a long distance, like I'm thinking mid window, you've already like there's blood on the wall.
Sure.
It just completely camouflages people. That's another weird unfair advantage.
Yeah, I get rid of that every time I can. So every time I talk, the blood is removed.
Still, we're into another round of Counter-Strike, and, well, this one's a weird one. Device has got his AWP that he preserved, and the rest of his team are going to try and delay with their very limited 2 smoke. Make it 1 smoke grenade, as Glaive's decided long's a little too scary.
Yeah, this is just tough for Astralis. There's still a chance for them. Look, let's assume that this round goes with its logical conclusion.
Yeah,
they lose it. They were threatening before on the pistols, but they weren't able to convert. But if they lose this, they're down 10-1. If they get 5, that's not a bad CT half for Dust 2. But if they end up with only 2 or 3 rounds, then we have a problem. And Device cannot catch a break. The AWPers in middle are being dictated to by Mr. JW. He's up to his nasty tricks. He's rolled back the years. Or he's rolled them forward. Maybe he's in the future. He knows how Counter-Strike's going to be played for the rest of the time.
Yeah, dude. He's wearing like straight up skiing goggles while he games. He's living in the future.
Oh dear. ZipX and Glaive wait patiently with a pop flash setup here.
I think that's a smoke.
Oh, it's the smoke on the side, isn't it? So
the
right click and then you can drop it on the side and actually block vision when they come at the ramp, right?
Forces wider angles.
Yeah, makes sense. So he's just looking for the perfect opportunity. You can use that lineup at home. He's kind of sat there and demonstrated it for long enough now. There it is. So it'll give him a bit more longevity on the A side here. That can weave around it. Lots of damage inflicted towards Brawlan, but ultimately he'll come out on top in the duel. Crims now gets his way towards A. We'll see how effective that smoke is for ZipX. Doesn't seem to be buying him a whole lot. He does find a single kill, but I think that's all they find here. Double digits for Fnatic on the T side of Dust 2 here. They are running away with this one, chaps. They are looking incredibly strong. Remember, Fnatic did pick Dust 2. His nuke coming up next, which is more than likely going to be going in favor of Astralis, just from what we could gather now.
It should. But remember when this team came together for DreamHack Masters MAhvMh, right? They actually played Astralis there, and Nuke was one of the maps. I believe it went to triple or quad overtime, something ridiculous. But
yeah, I do
Fnatic won that game.
Yeah.
Now, that probably shouldn't have happened then. It seems unlikely that it would happen again, but at least there's a precedent for it.
All I can really go on is the EPL curse right now, because we keep having these big blowouts in opening games, the best of 3s, and then it just doesn't continue. The trend won't occur in the second map, and we'll see the next team just come online and take us to a 3rd.
Well, let me follow that up, because when they played each other at ECS Season 8 Finals, Nuke was a map in the pool then as well, and Fnatic lost 16-6. So they went from the honeymoon at MAhvMh, where they had beaten Astralis on one of their best maps.
Flusher was back, everyone was like just bonding and feeling fantastic.
Happening.
We're in Sweden, we're on LAN.
And then two tournaments later, they're losing 16-6 on that same map. So it's going to be interesting to see what they've changed and developed in that time, because we know the honeymoon phase, they've had time to settle in now. They had 78 days between the end of last year's tournaments and Katowice this year. So Fnatic have a lot of prac under their belt. We're finally starting to see those rewards of it here, as their free Counter-Strike is actually working very well.
Well,
we saw it.
He did actually spot him. JW looking for the opportunity now. There is going to be one. ZeuwoKCDZ edges towards the pit here, and he does rattle off a shot, but may just ultimately get two. This is looking much better now for Astralis, trying to lick their wounds after this disappointing first half, but it might get worse. Golden does pull one back. Remember, they played Dust 2 yesterday against Na'Vi and lost 16-10 as well. Things not looking a whole lot better.
This is a big call from Golden. By getting the frag CT, he's expecting Glaive to have fallen off A. Now advancing with smokes and fast movements, he's going to be caught out of position. He's barely got the AWP and got back to long. He's trying to fill the gap of device, but now he's catching flashes. This disadvantage that Fnatic are working with doesn't feel like one. Now the site is theirs, and so's the man advantage, stolen back by Magisk. Bomb still yet to be planted. Glaive has just popped the head of Crims. A tiny fraction of his balaclava showing. Now it will be Golden thrust into a 1v2. Faking it out, not ready for sure. Magisk will pull home the second.
Oh, it didn't feel comfortable towards the end there. Golden, if he think he had a few more bullets in the clip, he might even get that kill towards long.
And if I'm going to be completely honest here, JW overstaying his welcome after it's highly likely that Magus saw him just as much as, you know, he was able to get the vision into the site. Hanging around with that stack after you've potentially been noticed, most people wouldn't do that. Most people would back on off. JW stayed. Magus gets 2 free kills through the smoke, and then Fnatic still make the round costly, still make it exciting. Continue. I wince every time. It just feels like it's going to hit. Crims legged out long, but
that nade does not take him down. He doesn't hide by the blue bin. He has a little more initiative than that. Knows the expected nade follow-up was coming. And so Crims fights to live another day.
This is a big note here. Device is on the rifle and Glaive's on the AWP. So Device must be feeling very helpless with the big green at the moment if they're making this mix-up.
Fnatic are making Device, of all players, the most consistent star AWPer in the world, feel like he can't play the weapon he's most comfortable with. That's saying something about the Fnatic T side, as was the graphic. You may have missed it. This is the most consecutive T rounds Fnatic have ever had against Astralis. That's quite the historic start.
Yeah, the 7-0 kickoff. Well then, 5-5 for now. Astralis, in terms of their setup, focusing towards short once again. Device, as you mentioned, M4 in hand. ZeuwoKCDZ behind him with the incendiary, one of which will be thrown towards the Xbox for now. But Crims, not known to be an AWPer, will be opening things up by virtue of low HP. He's given the sniper rifle, actually works out for him. He'll take down Glaive on the A side. Dupree pulls one back, but it cost him most of his HP at this stage. Down to 9 points of health, and we will see a reposition towards A. ZeuwoKCDZ good nade, but can he hold them off?
So they know where he is. They know there's going to be a fight on site. JW and Golden are going to try and force him out of position. Golden's low. It doesn't matter, though. 20 HP, and he just finds that headshot so comfortably. Look at their help. I don't even know if they can go for it.
Yeah, that's a beautiful play. That's really well done. The fact they've applied 2 flashbangs there just for Golden swings. Like you can see ZeuwoKCDZ, he had his crosshair in the perfect place at that stage. He was ready and waiting, but he had to move away. Sure, he might have still had the advantage, but Golden hits. It's an absolute stunning shot there and confirms the round.
Now, we would have had the match head-to-head stats coming up of these two teams and how often they played each other. It was a huge amount. It was 66 wins for Astralis and 60 for Fnatic. But I want everybody to understand that it's to do with the cores. We operated on a core 3. Faces, which is Dupree, Device, and ZeuwoKCDZ over there on the Astralis camp. And Fnatic, it'll be JW, obviously got Flusher in the mix, and then Crims would be that third individual to make the core. Now this goes all the way back, the rivalry between these two teams, to 2014, when Astralis were known as Dignitas. They had Fetish and AZ as the other 2 members. And on the other side of things for Fnatic, it was during their glory days. They had Olaf and Pronax in there.
That really is the throwback days.
Yeah.
The Fetish really kind of warmed my heart there. You know? It's been a while since I've heard that name.
Yeah, God, Fetish.
Yeah.
The guy with the cap.
That's the one.
The accent. Not quite going to hit the first shot on the doors this time. JW does continue to be a persistent thorn in the Astralis side on this T side. Dupree realizing he has to take matters into his own hands, and Magisk is bringing the fight as well. They're pincering in towards T spawn.
What a weird play that is from a CT side.
But they're forcing them to do this, right? All their standard plays aren't working. Astralis have to change it up. They are 11-2 down.
It's fascinating that one player being thrown out the long doors, like that's always going to be a one and done. And that's exactly what happens. That favors the T side of this stage.
They
And that's
won't clear this.
one of the Kriegs, one of the few Kriegs they had is given away. And that's a long-range weapon. As dupreeh, he's got the perfect setup to actually counter this. Now when we can pull this back, it's still going to be a 3-on-3. This kill is very important. Device not ready for it. That sniper just not working out for him today. Glaive could still save the round for them, but this kill has to come through.
Yeah, he's actually going to hunt it down. Bronn hears it and does go down. Big frag, but B lost. No bomb.
Bomb's going A.
Flusha trying to sell it as much as he can. I mean, JW, he's just pouncing as fast as he can up long, but it seems like Glaive's too wise for these tricks. He will be catching the cross. A flash and a smoke will obscure his view, and just across, JW doesn't look, doesn't know just how close Glaive is. He's going to catch him completely unawares. That's the end of J-Dubs. Glaive securing a must-win round, and off the back of some aggressions from dupreeh and Magisk.
Well, nice work there from Glaive. You could see him put the brakes on as soon as he knew the bomb was about to be planted. He knew what was going on at that stage. Full defuse coming in. Flush could do nothing about it.
Just note, the two players they had go aggressive there, he's going to try and take away these guns. The two players they had go aggressive there was Magisk and dupreeh, the two that you want to be brawling, and then they had their safe pairs of hands. You had Glaive, you had Device, and you obviously had XiPX as the three who are a little bit more passive. But right here, Glaive doing this, we've seen Fnatic do these rounds a lot, right? Where they string out in the 2v2s and they'll isolate duels because normally that draws the entire rotation. You expect the Ts to stay together so they can trade efficiently. That's fundamental CS. But Fnatic go against that, right? They split up, they try and make things really difficult, they force the CTs around. You can see Glaive putting himself in the Fnatic shoes and going, well, what are they likely to do here? Getting the jump on them and it was basically a 1-on-2 situation in favor of Astralis in that moment before JW even went down. So you can see there we do have some technical difficulties.
Just a headset. It shouldn't be too long here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for bearing with us. It looks like we're back into the action already. So there's nothing to worry about whatsoever. And we're getting to the final round here of the first map of our first game. It's a big one. Fnatic versus Astralis. And do not adjust your sets. The score at the top is correct. Fnatic are absolutely decimating Astralis right now on Dust 2. It's the pick of the Swedes.
Look at this
and there is a good B spawn. And actually the auto sniper's coming through as well. There's the first kill. It's always a lot of fun to bring it out in this last round. Normally a bit of an overtime treat, but we're being shown it in regulation here. Device could pull one back here if they are overzealous. Looking towards a drop-down area. There is a smoke for now. Who comes out on top here? He's going to swat another one towards T-Spawn and does get JW in the end.
Yeah, I'll take that any day of the week. A good nade as well to soften up some of those B tunnels players. It was from short. Crimson Brolin, worse for wear off that one. XiPX, good damage inflicted. Flusha continuing to try and keep these B defenders there, and I mean he's working wonders. Glaive and Device are pulled back into the B site. Chopping and changing, it will be Glaive's responsibility to hold the middle. And Brolin's just staring at this peak. Glaive needs information. And that's more than he bargained for. No scope necessary.
He's holding that like an AWP line. That's a sliver gap, you know? I know the doors are spammable, but he's using that like an AWP. Like,
yeah, it's the tightest of lines. Glaive, he just wanted a tiny fraction of information, and he gets so much more than he bargained for. Same could be said for Golden's exchange here. Likely anticipating someone on that close corner. You can always Molotov it off. But now Device, oh no, he's just walking out. This is big. dupreeh will relieve the long prong. And now it's a question of A or B.
Well, looks to be A here, as XiPX will be tested once again. He has been struggling on this A side of the map, dropping another smoke here to buy a little bit more time. Wiggling around the bomb site here. He looks like he's lined two of them up, but Broland is way too precise at that Krieg. Flusha patrolling towards middle, and both of these CT players will have to take short. Device in from lower B here to be one hell of a task. Flashbang to try and get them into the initial choke point, but there's so much work to do here.
Yeah, I mean, you need a cracker from dupreeh, don't you? Yeah. Just Molotov him off the site and just tap ahead. Not going to get that today.
Well, even if Device gets this kill, it looks like our half will be concluding at 12-3 in favor of Fnatic on the T side. It certainly is a terrorist affair these days, but this is a landslide victory so far from Fnatic. But if there was a team to pull it back, Astralis would certainly be in that conversation. Device now being toyed with. They try and go for the knife towards the end. An amazing performance from Fnatic to kick off this best of 3. We'll take a break and be back with the second half momentarily.
on my country commando. Pulling up with clips extendo. That's no game Nintendo. I don't ever run out of ammo. I'm gon' need me a benzo. No fake friends, no pretend. No, think I might have found.
What's Treadstone?
A Soviet control program was designed to create human weapons.
Against the Astralis camp, and now they would have to have quite the monumental T-side to even have a shout into our first match.
And it's not like Astralis didn't turn up today. They got 7 opening duel victories there in the first half, can only convert 3 of them. So it's Fnatic, they're just firing on all cylinders, looking incredibly strong. Dust suits their play style. We'll see a straight up B rush here, but looks things jumping around here like little rabbits making their way through. Roland will find the first, but they have actually managed to break through as Crims will be stuck behind the doors now.
Good shots from Flusher. He's going to try and close the gap. And yeah, look at this. Device is going to be responsible for tunnels, but they're coming from all angles. He has to hit some good shots, and that's the perfect start. ZipX has done the same. Advantage Astralis on the pistol. It's been one of the strong suits of their game so far. They've won a lot of pistols, and this one seems no different. Straight away, thrown Crims into a 1 versus 3. Sure, he's got a kit, and Magisk even giving him a headshot chance. Won't take it, and will not be taking the round. Astralis don't have to move too much of a muscle. Device is just staring at the doors, and Magisk does hunt for some info and loses his life. Crims maybe could take one more out of this one. He's thinking about it, but no.
Well, there we have it. Straight up B rush. Shadow 2 players is jumping around at the mouth of the tunnel there.
Yeah, that flash came in very, very late. I think what they wanted to do was kind of draw the CTs into the open, expecting it to be dry, and then that flash would come over late to blind everyone up. The CTs had their own flash, but when they swarmed the Glocks, you know, that's when they're doing their best work. It's close ranges, is what they want. They could get a few more bullets. If you're not hitting with the USP, that's when the individuals can capitalize.
That's why they're jumping around there, so you can't get the multi-kill potential. If you're gonna have to kill a player, you have to really work for it. If he's jumping around, you can't all line up the heads. And at that point, they manage to trade up 1 kill. That's when everyone can just run and focus on the bomb side at that stage, and it works out very nicely for them. A couple of burst fire kills in there as well. Job's a good one. As we get into the second round here, it's the force buy from Fnatic, though. Always a scary round to go up against here. You know, the scouts are out, the CZs, Deagles, a lot of high-power weaponry. It doesn't cost a whole lot. JW with the sniper rifle now looking towards long. This is the first shot, but second go, same result here. Finally nails that shot towards Device, but he takes a lot of damage as a result, and the nade will finish him off.
Yeah, up long. Rotation is caught. Glaives messed his spray. That could come back to haunt them because now crossing into the site. Golden and Grim, they've got a little bit of a one-way on that. Completely exploiting the ramp players, and just as I say that, ZiPX, but Brollan swings out of the smoke. Just getting the one. Maybe anticipating a second because Flush is on his way with a CZ and he has got another. They are both low and only 5 bullets in the clip. My goodness, he's got nothing to work with.
The bomb's down on the ramp as well here, so he's going to actually have to pick up a USP just so he has bullets in a gun. That's his main problem right now. Does find a UMP en route towards the bomb site. Nails a jump up towards short. Got a flashbang available to him, and remember, they're both low, so he can still win this one. Heads up towards short now. Probably flashes the side before he commits. Uses the USP instead, knowing he just needs to hit a couple of shots here. There's the first one connecting. Flashbang will come out now. Device with the scout as well. What kind of plan do we have available? It does look quite a defensive one, but Device ready and waiting towards the corner. Nails the scout shot. Although it's a very close round, it will be Astralis to pick it up.
Almost robbed them right there. And this is where Fnatic have one of those opportunities we've been talking a lot about, where if you were on the T side in this scenario, you would instantly be rebuying in. On the CT side, you're kind of tempted. You're thinking about it, right? You know that you took 4 players away. You know that you still have roughly around that 2.5 mark to go for a buy. They are going to purchase into some nades and upgrade some pistols. So it's not the full investment.
Well, they did so much damage in the previous round. It's frustrating not to be able to invest much more than some HE grenades, but they could be the perfect investment here. We'll see if it comes through. They are going to land, and it looks like they've already broken through. So should be fine for Astralis here. They'll take a couple of casualties, I'd imagine. And his Flush is still in the back here with the USP, but he's burning to a crisp. So the B rush against USP is normally pretty safe. Had they dumped those grenades at the very start of the round, it could have been a different story, but they were waiting for a dribble smoke and a slower commitment there. So Astralis managing to avoid what could have been a very dangerous scenario.
Yeah, and once again, another team utilizing that MAC-10. When they've got the read on the buy, they know it's going to be nice and easy, just bounding that MAC-10 in. Just that $1,000 loose nades enables them to take some chances at not too much of a financial cost. Now fleet start for the Astralis T side. Yeah,
just what they needed. Clean 3-0 conversion. The orbs will be coming out of the next round, though, although JW has invested a little bit more than he'd like to. Brollan has got 3K, so he might be the one dropping the sniper. Well, time will tell as Golden hunts for any opportunities here. Trying to keep them in towards the bomb side if possible, but it doesn't matter regardless. They'll take him down and survive before the bomb even goes off here, so no problem. As Astralis find the 3-0, and here comes that first gun round. Will Brollan have to drop the orb, though? That's the question. He's got 5,900, the only player that could do so, and actually have some Kevlar to talk about. And he's gone for the org instead. So yeah, rifles across the board here. Focusing on the utility game. Fnatic now starting to feel the pressure somewhat. If ever there's a team that could crawl the way back into a series, Astralis, probably the first one that comes to mind.
Yeah, certainly. Golden to hold this catwalk cross. It's going to Scout versus M4, and the Scout wins out. Golden tagged up, retreating, but Magisk is ahead of the Flames. Lots of pressure being applied.
How sick is that, using their own CT smoke against them to get control towards B? It hasn't worked out this round, though, as Golden has actually got the bomb. That's a nightmare from Magisk. Fully commits to it, and now Golden sits in the smoke, going for a big play here. Gets some more damage off, but it might not be enough here. Brollan, though, mowing them down. It is looking very good for Fnatic.
Yes, and Brollan's not done. Brollan collects all 4. They flood into his sight, but he is the dam that keeps them at bay. 13 now for Fnatic.
The bomb running up towards the B site. Like I said, it was a cool maneuver there. You've gone so quickly through middle. You've actually got the CT smoke to guise you up towards the B bomb site. They can't spot your movements there, but Golden was ready and waiting outside the bomb site. It was a position that wasn't accounted for there, and the C4 goes down. It means Astralis have to fully commit. There's no choice at that point. They can't fall back and re-coordinate. They're going to have to see what they can do, and it was very chaotic with Brollan nailing them with the AUG. And speaking about getting nailed, it's Golden this time, through the doors at 47 HP.
Okay, JW is going to be tested here on long. He does have some support. The long smoke coming in. Oh no! Oh no! Not quite what he wanted, and now already 2 players falling on long. A third as well through the smoke. Astralis, they haven't seen any of the players they've killed just yet. Straight through. JW perhaps the exception to what I just said, because he squandered those headshots. He had 2 backs turned.
Yeah, I don't think he was expecting it to be that easy for him. The smoke not ideal for the crossover here, and this could lead to their inevitable doom. The spray down from Golden is absolutely spot on here, and now leads us to a 2-on-2 situation. ZiPX nades towards spawn and actually lands right in the pocket there of Golden. That should enable their cross at this stage. Brollan, though, AUG towards shore, vaults up towards the bomb site, spots one at the ramp, gives himself an opportunity here. If he can make this a 1 versus 1, he's got a solid chance.
Has he been spotted, though? It doesn't look like they had identified his position.
Definitely with the flash. Rollins going around the world, though. Device on car.
So they've got one car, one bomb site. This is defensive position towards car, so they'll hear him at this point. ZipX the first to challenge at the corner.
He's been heard.
Yeah, definitely been hurt. Does he check car? They've got a perfect crossfire to take this down. He shouldn't get more than one. Doesn't even check Device's position. They'll confirm around. And it will be Astralis to pick it up there. So it was scrappy, but they managed to break their way through with ZipX getting 3 there. All down towards long, and JW had the perfect lineup there. The Molotov from his teammate thrown from the corner. All of Astralis saw it. They had their crosshairs focused towards the long corner. JW, though, overwhelmed, only manages to get 1. If he gets both those kills, trust me, they're winning that round. So he'll be gutted at that one as Astralis claw another one back. Going to be 4-1 in the second half. 13-7 overall, and Device makes his way down middle, knowing they've got no money on the CT side. Is a revolver out? Of course it is, boys.
I would hope
Maybe
nothing
it works
less.
well on this map. Though we learned a little tidbit on the way home yesterday, right? You guys told me about the car.
Someone on Twitter, I can't remember their name, did tell me that the R8 does actually have a 60 to 80% accuracy ratio on the ladder. So one of the only weapons that have that sort of trait, so maybe your maps like Trainer could have something to say, but JW does buy it. And just a note, it replaces the Desert Eagle in your loadout. So you can't buy the Deagle on the CT side if you have the R8 equipped. We're yet to see much more than 2 kills the entire EPL season from it, but we're still enjoying it.
Yeah, and a lot of damage. I mean, they may not be converting into kills, but again, we saw JW using it like a scout through the smoke, much more effective, much higher rate of fire without the scope. And yeah, he tagged up 2 down to 12 and 36 respectively. You can see the amount of damage it did.
They've got the revolver now. ZipX has found it. Happy to give it a go.
He's leaving it. He'll leave it on the battlefield.
That's a shame.
And Crims might want to take a couple of weapons out of the Astralis hands. It's Magus, and he's lost his AK. ZipX is low, he can't afford to go for it, but that's quite the opposite for the hunt. Crims did want to find another. Shut down, and 8 now for Astralis. Yet to see Astralis, Fnatic find too much on their CT side.
Just the one round. It was number 4 after losing the pistol and the 0-3 conversion. They did manage to bring one together, but ultimately been shut down ever since. The first time the AWP brought out in this second half is in the hands of JW, and a secondary for Golden as well. We said he's been kind of flirting with the weapon recently, and he's going to give it another go here on Dust 2. We've seen him use it on a Mirage as well. On towards that B bomb side. We'll see Glaive use the long spawn, trying to get over. The long smoke is down. JW flashed, and his teammate dropped. Flusher en route to the pit has been taken down. Astralis pick up the pace now, and shots being missed. Golden crumbles under the pressure here. JW will have to stand tall.
And Crims has as well. So damn tall. Device losing health. JW aggressive on long. He could be punished for that. But in the meantime, ZipX is the one to aggress short. Device catching the mid doors. Numbers favoring Astralis. Where is that bomb? It's on ZipX, and he's going to be planting it. Golden, that's nonsense.
Okay, well, it's a full long plan here, meaning they can have a player in towards the pit. That's going to have to be Glaive at this point, but up against 2 AWPs, could be a little bit more problematic, and they can smoke the bomb as well. Problem is they have to get close towards the side first, and how do they do that with 2 sniper rifles at this point? Their avenue of approach is going to be walking up with the scopes towards the side itself. I don't think they can do much of this. The incendiary actually blocks them out. Golden's having a bit of a nightmare here. Throws the smoke on the corner now. Needs to go for a jump shot, really. Spots one towards Goose. The bomb's too far gone. They should have saved these weapons. There's no way of them winning the round now. JW knows it, and he'll be falling back as they extend their lead here. It's going to be 39 overall, but 6-1 in this second half to Astralis.
6-1. Maybe, just maybe, the Fnatic first map falter is still on the cards. Astralis, they've been doing solid work across the second half start. And look at the kill distribution as well. It's like 3 kills separating top from bottom. This was Glaive turning it on with his opening frag on long, and the rest just came naturally. This was ridiculous from Golden. Just sees the nade being thrown and adjusts through the doors.
Well, they're right back in this game now, looking for double digits. 1 round away from doing so, and the CT buy is not going to be amazing. They save 1 AWP as we get into a US Air Force tactical timeout here. Device dominates. Device is the 3rd performance against Fnatic, holding a 1.35 rating and 1.45 kill to death against him in the past 6 months. He is Mr. Consistent. He always turns up. Had a quiet first half, Chad, but we are starting to see that AWP starting to do some serious damage now on the T side.
Yeah, they were really getting dictated to on their CT side. They couldn't really just stop the aggression of Fnatic. Whenever they wanted to go fast, it felt like they could get away with it. Whenever they were stringing out the duels, we had Flusher getting kills over the top of Molotovs to platform, with JW winning back-to-back clutches.
Yeah.
now Astralis starting to get something moving. Zippy, he's continuing the good form from yesterday, up at 18 frags, leading the way for his team right now. And, well, Fnatic, they've got these upgraded pistols. They have that UMP and the AWP for JW, but they need to find some frags with it, because the rest of them with those pistols, we know how deadly they can be, but it's not the easiest of rounds up against an Astralis, who are slowly picking up momentum here.
3 smokes left for the T side. We see one deployed by the CTs to keep them at bay. That will be their second to last. Now this HE combo, this could do a lot of damage. It's just a little too short again. And into the site with a double. We will see Crims, he didn't check in, and he commits to the spray. Couldn't quite find the necessary UMP bullets. And this one will go its predicted way. ZeuwoKCDZ to get the bomb down.
Well, I think you might be onto something there, Alex, as it is going to be the 4-on-2 Golden JW. That orb from this previous round will have to be saved at this point. And in terms of loss bonus, MAhvMh7zeuwoKCDZ, of course, coming into the next round. Astralis have got double digits. Golden will be taken out of the equation. And Astralis now right back in the conversation to take this first map. Remember, it was a 12-3 half against them on Fnatic's map pick. And this is where it could all come crumbling down. Remember, it's Nuke up next, Chad, as well, which is a very powerful map for Astralis.
One that they actually banned yesterday against Na'Vi, just to note. So that's quite a
Well, it has been a very good map for Na'Vi as of late, right? Like a map I never really associated much with them until I saw Katowice, of course, and we saw how powerful they could possibly be on that map individually. BoomH, one of the best nuke players in the world, it seems. Flamey holding ramp like there's no tomorrow. It was a wonderful performance there.
I think when you have Electronic and Simple as your two link players, and Yard and Secret, the ones to deal with the most problem area and the hardest to do with rotations, you're onto something there. You've got two very, very strong individuals who synergize really well. The same can be said for Astralis right now as they continue to mount this comeback. What are we at now? 7-1?
We are at 7-1. Double digits for Astralis, where doubt starts to creep into the minds of Fnatic players here as they enter another double orb setup. Golden has hit him with some impressive shots, but JW will have to start chiming in as well. He's holding towards short. He is alone and very aggressive here, looking towards Xbox and lower. Device on the other side. It's been a key battle. In terms of the bomb, that's outside long for now. First jump up comes through, and JW will be frustrated he didn't nail that one. Very close, but no cigar.
Yeah, he's going to be kicking himself. An opening kill, everything to the CTs. Really stops the numbers game from feeling overwhelming against the T side. Being pre-aimed now.
This is such a risk from JW, but this is exactly why we love his play style. Out he steps, he gets the leg. It's a massive risk. There wasn't even a flash, it was just dry.
Yeah, I guess he was counting on Device's crosshair to be where it was. It was only going to be a leg shot at the maximum. Glaive trying to sell the B, looking good. Dribble, smoke, and a nade onto Golden's feet. This could be the mid to B even. Now the smoke for CT. DW will not be able to contribute from A now. Second smoke, that usually means the commitment, as we talk about. Device already catching Golden, it's all onto Brolin on B. He needs more than one, he doesn't get any of them. Dupree's found another, Astralis are fragging all over the map. This is getting scary now for the Swedes.
Yeah, they are running away with the second half and taking no prisoners. Fnatic have dropped 3 players and have no choice to save their ZeuwoKCDZ is on the hunt. JW will at least thwart his efforts here. Fnatic now desperate to hold on to any weaponry they can. They are riding the wave of the maximum loss bonus, but Astralis just bleeding them dry here. Every single round is overwhelming them. Dupree, Device, Mages all chiming in with kills here. Flusher cowering in T-spawn, hoping to survive with just an M4, no grenades. Things starting to get rough out there. This massive lead they built up, a 12-3 half, is crumbling around them.
Yeah, it's going to be haunting if they concede this. Such a sterling first half.
Just there, boys. It seemed very simple. We're going to bring it up on Skybox. I want to talk you through the protocols with the dribble smoke that we're labeling it here. So we're going to play this one out. Glaive is in upper tunnels. He's going to throw this dribble smoke right here. And normally the protocols from the CTs is they have to play close to it because the Ts use this smoke to kind of have multiple entry points when they do a flash or pop hit. So playing close to that smoke was something they was able to achieve. They were already there, but that meant for the mid to B, there was nobody spotting that line. So Glaive did a fantastic job with the distraction. You can see Golden and Brolin moving around, but it's too little too late as the mid to B is already coming on in. Let's get back into the action.
Let's do it. Towards long. So many flashes. Jesus Christ! 6 flashes, 1 frag. It converts nicely. JW's gone. His screen as white and as bright as my future. My goodness, that's ridiculous. Let's see what we've got here. Flush is going to try and contest. He has only got the M4, the only real viable avenue into the round.
Well, that AWP is MIA now. Flasher with the M4, Brolan with the upper B push, and 4 players from Astralis making their way towards the A side. A double smoke towards the crossover should be enough. A nice Xbox smoke just to suggest it could be the A split. Actually might be as well, considering Claver made his position now. Brolan is the only player that can really save the day. A couple of 1-digs would be fantastic. He's got the perfect crosshair placement to do so many moves just as Magus walks into his screen. That is unfortunate. And now with the incendiary down, does Flusher avert his gaze? Apparently not. It doesn't matter. Wow. Magus still nails the kill, removes the rifle, and leaves the 5-7 isolated. And Crims is fighting his way out.
He's digging himself out of this hole. Don't know how he's even done this. He got another one with his 5-7. Now Golden's Deagle's connected. Oh, the Fnatic round. It's happened again. Haven't seen one of these in a while. Just with the pistols, some Kevlar vests, and the saved rifles. But it's all the pistols. It's all Crims. He's upgraded himself to the AK now.
Yeah, 3 kills with that 5-7, but up against Glaive, one of the smartest players in Counter-Strike. It's not enough, though. Crims will find in their second round of the half so far, and it goes 14-11.
Let's talk through these 2 rounds. Crims with the Miracle 5-7 and the Fluff from Astralis, running out mid to B with the bomb, literally delivering it to the B doors for the CTs to hold, and then Brolan mopping them up as they had no option other than running out mid to B. That's where these 2 CT-sided rounds have come from. Glaring mistakes from Astralis. Otherwise, this half has looked fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good point to keep in mind, that the only rounds Fnatic have ever translated here on the CT side have been through unforced errors.
Well, if they can find a couple more of those, Alex, it'll be enough to get them over the finish line. So their great shift in the first half. If all it takes is a few scrappy rounds in the second, they'll take it.
I think I would be remiss to not say that, actually, to be fair, Crims' 5-7 play was definitely a forced error.
Yeah, indeed. They had to really work hard for that one. Isolated on the side, his teammates had dropped the rifle and the AWP going down. It's the 5-7 alone on the A side to find 3 headshots. That's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, don't get to see those. He earned that one through blood, sweat, and 5-7 frags.
Okay, well, the mid split's coming in.
JW's ready for it.
Yeah, it looks like he's got his first kill. He does nail the shot. The HE should be able to pick it up. It's going to be Crims convert. And another opening advantage now for Fnatic, starting to wake up at the tail end of this game now. Device, AWP up towards short, trying to catch transitioning players from the long position, but there's only one there for now. JW makes his way towards crossover, hit in the arse, and it will be taken down to just 4 HP.
Crims, that was ballsy. Great screen for him, not for Glaive. Does bring it back to a 4 versus 4, more of a 4 versus 3.1. JW's working with such a scrap of health. And Glaive's positioning, oh, it's so prime. Brolan did not expect that one at all. Glaive switched on, and he could very well be in the market for a third there, a clean kill onto Golden.
Yeah, he hasn't been happy with his individual level as of late, and we're really starting to see him turn it on in this really difficult Dust 2 game for them. 3 kills in this particular round, very important ones as well, just patrolling those flanks and looking very assertive of every shot. They know a CT player's towards the pit. They're going to do everything they can to hunt him down, and they've managed to take him to 41 HP. But is that enough to find the kill? Apparently so, and JW towards the blue bin. He won't be surviving to the next round, as they will be hunting him at this point. He probably gets 1 kill, not even that. Dupree will find him, and it's Astralis destroying Fnatic there, along with their finances.
Well, one of the positives I was about to note with Fnatic is because they continue to lose so many strings of rounds, they're always going to have the max loss bonus, right? The 3,400, it's not going to be shy for them. It's something they're quite familiar with at this stage of the game. So see those pistol rounds where Crims had the 5-7? We can have a few more of those still come in before this game's on over.
Yeah. And this is the tactical timeout now, brought to you by the US Air Force, as things start to get a little bit more tense. Fnatic with a 12-3 lead now find themselves with a 14-12 situation. Astralis have come fully online here. This has looked impressive. The only rounds that Fnatic have picked up have been scrappy, is where Astralis made a few mistakes, or when Fnatic have just had the pistols here. Their money is not in an amazing position, but there is a buy there. It'd be a mixture of rifles and SMGs. You can see a scout purchased already. It looks like they might go in for the partial buy as Astralis close the gap round by round, is putting their foot on the throat of Fnatic here. It's their map pick. If they were to pick this up, 2-0 would be very likely, considering the nuke is coming up next. Astralis have chosen 4 AK-47s. Remember, they do not use the Krieg anymore on the T side, focusing on the original OG rifle here. And with Device's AWP, it seems to be a potent combination as we get into round number 27. First shot doesn't connect, and Fnatic hold on to the majority of their cash.
going to come down to some nades and some ratty plays around smokes.
There's 3 of them here towards long. If they don't go down through these smokes, they're going to hold Astralis at bay for the other 20 seconds while that corner smoke is still bloomed. JW not going for the revolver, opting for the scout, so that's a positive note right there.
Same thing, really.
Well, depends on who you talk to.
Plenty of info being gained by this B crew, though. They're about to call it clear. They're going to perhaps process of elimination their way to the long stack, but it's not necessarily, as Na'Vi taught us, it's only half the battle. Knowing that it's a long stack does not translate into beating the long stack.
I don't even think you need to worry about holding them in place at this point. If you put the lion's share of your numbers over towards the site, you know what they're going to do. It's progressional. They'll smoke the cross, they'll get a ramp control, they'll wait for you to boost and try and take the fight from Gandalf or site boxes there. Once they win that fight, they'll move into the site, they'll smoke off towards Catwalk, and they'll plant that bomb.
Yep, starting their progress now through the side. Through the smoke, admittedly, some bullets are connecting, but no one has gone down. No lethality for Astralis to worry about. Instead, it's all good in the hood for them. More frags. Finally, Brolin's MP9 fills the feed, but only for 1. Flush's USP not going to get him too far. And we have ourselves this gap almost entirely closed now. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a 12-3 half. Astralis had just given Fnatic the same treatment right back.
Yeah, 7-0 start for Fnatic as well. They were running away with this one. And now just 1 round separates them, 14-13. That was the eco, though, from Fnatic. A double orb setup could be on the cards once again, but Golden buys the M4, so perhaps not. It's going to be having the Org of Brolan, which has been very successful on the CT side. Pretty much the only success they've been finding, to be honest with you, apart from the 5-7 kills from Crims. JW on 17 and 16 hasn't done a whole lot in the second half as of yet. Only finding 2 rounds, and we'll see if Device can continue applying the pressure towards middle. Just completely running down from T-spawn straight towards middle, looking for any gaps in the smoke. Confirms it's clear as Glaive makes his way up towards short.
Change the way they have to default as well. There's no going through lower. There's no need to waste flashes. They're able to hold on to a bit of extra utility just here.
Is this the B doors?
Yeah, okay, so this is pretty
complex.
Going
for it as well. This is a full all-in towards B.
So Glaive can line this up, and he'll have to do a running throw. So it's not as telegraphed as throwing it from the B tunnels itself. It's a running jump throw from here, and it will land in front of the B doors itself. It's actually missed completely, this one. So that's not ideal. And they'll think B is actually smoked off at this point. That's what Brolan is. So that's a bit of a shame, as they were going for the B split. It's one mistake that actually enables them to find a few frags here. JW can still go down. They'll have a chance in the round, but they need to find this kill right now. He's playing it very well, surviving, taking them down, and it looks like ZipX is done for here. It's going to be Fnatic finding map point unless he does something absolutely ridiculous. Flashed off in towards the corner. It's the miss smoke, the cost in the round there, and 15-13 is found. And it's just due to mistakes, Chad, again, where Fnatic been picking these rounds up.
Yeah, when they go back and they recount how they lost some of these rounds, Astralis are going to look and feel pretty hard done by. But Fnatic, they have to be in the right places to capitalize on these, and they've been doing exactly that. Reflect back to the start of the game, oh so long ago, the 1v2 clutches from JW. We could have had a whole different pacing to this.
Absolutely. Sure. Yeah, and I mean, if after all of that, the unforced errors or these chaotic rounds that Fnatic have converted in their second half, it's enough to pull them across the line thanks to the hard draft they presented in the first. Contesting long, or at least considering it, the smokes, Molotovs, flashes, and all of the bullets have been engaged very early, and that does leave Astralis with control of the T side of long.
This is very Na'Vi-esque though, right? We've become accustomed with this. They did it on the Antico. It looks like they wanted to go for the similar play on the gun round here. Have Fnatic learned a thing or two? Do they have a counter in mind now that there's full utility out on the board?
Time will tell. Strong real estate found for Astralis here. Full long take with the bomb. Bit of a reply from Fnatic as they smoke off short, confirming that area is clear and there's no one actually ready to pounce towards the A site. Molotov towards car, trying to flush these CT players out. Pushing towards the bomb site. No one at that car position as they transition back towards the B area now. So the bomb's going to be on the back of Major's gear. They still have smokes available. We've talked about the open sky boxes towards the B tunnels now. So you can smoke the doors and the window from this area, but it's very obvious when you do so. So most teams are still opting for the dribble smoke in front of tunnels, and it does negate the AWP most of the time. We'll see if that comes through as Device will be faking towards A. They've got crossover smokes enabled for Dupree and Device. They might even commit off these and try and get a couple of kills as their teammates get ready and waiting for dribble smoke in B, but they need to wait for a bit of action towards A, a response from the CT side first.
Yeah, and I'm intrigued and more interested into Golden and his responsibility on B. He's falling off. And now here it comes. Caught off in the transition. Mollies, but he has done well to find one. Not a second. He makes sure of that. Glaive. Flusher, however, catching the mid player. Crims has closed the gap, Glaive's in the doors, the smoke in the spray is not quite enough. Glaive lives on to fight another day, 100 HP, a 2 versus 4 in order to close this gap, or will it be the end of Does 2?
It was a great idea from Astralis, but it was Golden that found the all-important kill here. 4 versus 2 now. Astralis do have the potential to win this, but they've only got a decoy to do so. They're going to have to be combative. Glaive needs to get his kill towards the tunnels quickly. If he finds it, there's a chance, but that's going to be it. 16-13 in favor of Fnatic, but Astralis have made a statement in this second half. They are turning up to this series. They aren't going down without a fight. has no idea they've already got down, Chad.
They
He
mollied
thinks
the
it's
vent
clear.
from Squeaky here. Zippy within lobby mollied the vent through Squeaky, so they couldn't rotate
No
initially.
one's lower. There's no single CT presence towards the lower bomb site at all. No one's got there. They have to come through ramp at this point, but there is a good chance. With no smokes down, they still could deny this. Astralis haven't punished the fact they had an open lower site.
It's a bit late. Bomb's not gone down. That will be dupree's task now. Glaive positioned perfectly for the first headshot. JW does go down. They're just coming in from ramp, and it's looking problematic. Another frag for Astralis as Golden does get added to the tally. This is going to be just a lockout. They can't really get past the ramp doors. Brolin eventually arriving to the scene, but Magisk has had all the time in the world to set himself up, make a nest, and, well, they flourish. It will be the Astralis perfect read, and they continue with their pistol dominance.
Like that, lots. It's the full outside rush there, knowing that there won't be any CTs outside spotting them apparently. Flusher was towards the heaven position, just to note the revolver's coming out straight away.
Yeah.
Just to note that, so Flusher there, he's got to deal with the upper rush to begin with there. He's probably going towards upper and dealing with outside as an afterthought when it's not the upper rush there from heaven. He goes to check it. They've already made their way down Secret. By the time they've realized they've actually got control of the lower side itself, 5-on-5 post plant towards lower, the T's are 99% of the time going to win that. So there we have it. It will be Fnatic giving it up. The revolver is out and it's making its way towards Squeaky Door. Hasn't done a whole lot just yet. Takes a bullet in the face instead, and it will be the outside cross from Astralis here. 2 players successfully down towards Secret, and it will be ZiPX in tow, coming behind him now.
This is the ladder situation.
This is the ladder we talked about, yeah. So
yeah, apparently it has like 80% ladder accuracy.
60 to 80%
okay.
compared to a usual weapon in terms of accuracy. So meaning you can sit on that ladder and spam the right click, presumably have some pretty decent damage with it. Whether that's going to be a game changer, I'm not so sure. I still think the Desert Eagle is going to be the better weapon, but we'll see what he can do with it as time goes on.
So just went back in Skybox to rewatch that pistol round, and that was definitely the play coming on in, as they should get mopped on up here. Magus finds one. The rest of them will do their very best to save. So, yeah, Zippy went lobby, naded open Squeaky, which normally, oh, it's a top rush, they're coming out, Squeaky, and drop the molly straight down the vent intentionally. Normally you see the molly land towards main to stop them coming in, but they wanted to deny any rotation through the vents, which is the first port of call that they were going to have to deal with. So it's a little detail, but it's a big detail in the context of how they got to that lower bomb site without anybody aggressing them.
And it makes so much more sense as well when you see the investment of a molly on the T-side pistol. You're going to be a little baffled, going to be a little confused. So 2-0, we are back off and running. JW did lose his investment, may have to go a little lighter, I was thinking, but maybe, yes, he could go down to the 1900 with the revolver.
Do it. Come on, JW, you're an entertainer. You're one map up.
He's not getting it again. There's no way. Not the AWPer.
That's true. Yeah, you've got to play the game as well. So
we like to have fun
here,
here, but that's maybe too much fun.
Hey, Green, are you there?
Yes, hello.
I saw someone ask you why we call you Green.
Oh, yes, that is the matchmaking servers. I like to go by Green in that area. You like this third-person stuff I'm doing?
That's pretty good. We just watched him, like, miss a guy. That's kind of cool.
This is, like, revolutionary.
So when Henry and I played in the CGS rush, this is how it was observed.
This was CGS rounds for this one. It's third person only. There you go. This is how CGS was spectated.
The entire thing.
The world's first kind of showing of Counter-Strike on national TV was explored in this manner, so you never really got to see the aim. It was everyone running around with the jerseys on, to be fair. One good thing they did was put everyone in the player jerseys on the server. No one could be killed either, so instead of dying, they would surrender. They'd go on their hands and knees with their hands above their head when you got the frag, and they would stay there in the surrender position for the rest of the rounds, just so it was TV friendly.
And just so everybody's aware, that that product only lasted 2 seasons.
It didn't work out.
And then the global financial crisis.
So you can see you can't really appreciate the true skill and caliber of these players when you're in third person. You don't really get the full
No,
effects.
you don't
the
really
models
get
look
much.
nice though, don't they?
Yeah, they're walking around, they're enjoying themselves. It was a weird decision they made all those years ago, but just to know, this was in 2007, many moons ago. They didn't know any better.
I think it's interesting that the T's bothered to get white Kevlar vests to go with their outfit.
Well, you want to look your best, Alex.
Yeah, I guess he's gone to the Kevlar store and he's like, I'd like one that matches my shirt, please.
It's about what you're putting forward.
Right,
And,
dress for the job you want.
Exactly.
Not the job you have.
Well,
Which
the
is why
buy
Henry
round.
dresses like a clown every day.
Oh dear, all right. No AWP on the first gun round for Fnatic. It's going to be 5 rifles, but basically full kits of utility. A couple of flashes are missing there. A diffuse kit on the back of Brolin. And there'll be some leftover SMGs. So maybe a hard top coming out from Astralis here.
Well, MAhvMh. What have you got for us this time? Flashbang towards outside to enable him to get towards our main roof. Molotov, same position, just to stop anyone spotting from the CT boxes itself. You can see how overwhelming this approach is. CTs are being isolated here. Astralis starting to run away with this first half. 4-0 looking very likely as dupreeh will find the first opener. That's towards Flusher. And MAhvMh just dissecting the map here with the MAC-10. JW, sneaky little spot here for a couple of kills potentially. He needs to connect this one. Glaive will beat him to the punch. But there's Brolan to pick up the pieces. And we'll go back to a 3 versus 3 now. Golden to reposition in lower. In terms of his utility, he's got nothing and half health. So he'll do well to defend the lower side with just this.
Oh no, squanders his lines again. He's fluffed it. Only against the MAC-10, so he does have a chance to stabilize, and he has found the head of ZiPX eventually. Magisk is under scrutiny from Brolan, which should very well translate into the first for Fnatic. Yep, back exposed, and only an MP7 and 12 HP does not the recipe for a clutch. Device could try and make it costly, though. The CTs aren't rich beyond their wildest dreams. He's got 30 seconds, so he could take his time. I think he'll have to break the glass here for the sound cue, so he's going to hope that that translates directly into a frag. Golden hasn't moved too far. There he is. Ooh. And he gets the kill. Lovely work from Device, just to at least force the rebuy onto Golden.
And that's the magic number, right? We talk about this a lot with the CT side. If you can limit them to 2 players being alive at the end of every single round, dropping these guns across becomes difficult. You can see Brolan can drop one. Crims can probably drop one. But then where does the third gun come from? You know, that's where the compromise
That's where the MP9 comes from.
Yeah, so have to take liberties with the lower buys. They have to bounce back here because it will be 5 AKs on the side of Astralis.
Certainly will be.
I'm very new to the Brolan shotgun combination.
Me too. Doesn't sound as sexy as the Brolan Krieg combination, which he won't be getting his hands on this half.
Yeah, the Astralis boys are making certain of that.
Yeah, just to reiterate that point of his journey over the second map, Astralis have confirmed in interviews now that they no longer buy the Krieg on the T side, just knowing how powerful it is. And it's too much of a risk to hand it over towards the CT defense, meaning they can just swell if they take a couple of rounds from you. So they'll buy it towards the end, 14 and 15th round perhaps, and over time you'll see it come out. But generally speaking, they'll buy the cheaper of the 2 guns, 2700 AK-47 over the 3K Krieg. Just to make sure they deny the advantage for their opponents. For now, though, creeping towards outside, the deepest smoke's deployed at this point. You can see them actually making their way towards Garage, no problem whatsoever. But will it be enough? Flush up on the other side, always so good in these sort of scenarios, but yet to find a frag here on Nuke.
JW's going to get the warehouse spot. More utility coming from that trajectory. He knows there's more out there, but Device was waiting for Flusher to leave his hidey hole. That gives Glaive a whole new lease of life to take the fight. He does. Sprays into the door frame to force JW into the angle. Crims is in trouble too. Jeopardy in the yard position. Glaive, Device slowly encroaching upon the off angle of Crims. Golden to try and draw them in. He's done well to find the frag. And again from Crims, they seize the advantage. He will be looking for Glaive, but shoe is on the other foot now.
25 seconds here, and in terms of resources, Astralis don't have a whole lot. They've got a Molotov and a flashbang, and they're not together right now with less than 20 seconds on the clock. A Molotov towards the main entrance. They have to go lower, and CT presence is there. It's going to be Golden, ready and waiting to deny this plan. All he has to do is get 1 kill here. That's enough. He's won the round off that. The bomb can no longer be planted. It's not even a talking point at this stage as Golden saves the day, gets both the kills, and to be fair, Crims did it such a good shift there towards the CT steps. It felt like that round was done for. When Flusher went down, he was in such a compromised spot, but the CT steps prevail once again.
I want to make a note with Astralis' approach right now. This is more what we're seeing out of the teams like the FaZes, like the Fnatics, with the game plan looks like it is to isolate ladder and go for these type of frags, whereas normally with Astralis, it's do the secret smokes, get lower control, force the CT rotation, use our utility better to get control of that lower bomb site.
So when Astralis are doing that, how do they ensure that they're not getting loads of info, ramp, lobby, squeaky? They just have one man babysitting all of that?
Well, no, because if you get players down secret, they have to respect that. So they have to rotate individuals away from some of these areas. So ramp will just be left with 1 player because an individual has to watch the lower bomb site. Top side, maybe that's your hut player. He has to drop off of hut, go down the vent. That means maybe you don't have main covered as 1 priority. So your priorities have to shift depending on your CT-sided rotations. And that's one thing as the T side on Nuke you want to be looking for. Who rotates where in case of these scenarios? How do we deal with them? What are their tendencies? On Nuke, that's something quite easy to look for with the CT sides here, even identified with the pistol round, making sure the CTs couldn't get down that vent to rotate to lower bomb site.
Yeah.
That could be something that they know with Fnatic. They normally like to rotate lower, but it's a top rush.
Yeah, and Brolin's shotgun could do a lot of work here. It's not so much the top as it is the vent dive straight down. Golden's going to have to save the day again. There's a gap in that smoke, and they've only got SMGs. Golden trying to connect the bullets. ZipX swinging in to save the bomb plant. Glaive only had 1 HP after that exchange. A 99 HP Dink.
They bring a kill back, but it might not be enough here. Device outside will keep them with the man advantage. 4 versus 3, and there's the shotgun that's still out here. It will be very effective towards Decon, but no one there right now. They're actually quite defensive towards the ramp itself, and Shadow.
They can smoke the bomb at least. Oh, the nade.
Oh, come
1
on.
HP?
Come on now. ZipX and Glaive working with 2 HP combined. And from behind, Dupree, it's so perfect. They do miss it though, and there's still one on the smoke. It's Brolan. He's holding it. He will get caught. The bullets from Device connect eventually, but my God, was that close.
There was a second that defuse felt like it was coming in. If a reload had to occur at that point, it could have fallen apart. But Astralis with the SMGs in their vent dive, they are known for those sort of tricks. They're very good at getting down towards lower, either through Secret or the vents himself. It's normally Glaive that will get right down there first, which it was this time as well. Nice work from ZipX, a long-range MAC-10 there, making it work. Upgrades to the AK-47, gets it done here with 1 HP, as he saw. Brolan's so unlucky that grenade didn't take him down. Counting his lucky stars, I'm sure, as the revolver's out again here. We're taking an eco on the CT side.
So I was just having a look right now at stats for Brolan, because we were talking about the fact he won't be able to get this SG in his hands. Overall, his entire career as an individual, now it hasn't been that long because he is such a young player. Does it get any more interesting right now, or are they going to deal with this?
Unless the revolver connects, I don't think so. I think you're good.
Okay, so Brolan, over his entire career, his most frags are with the AK-47, which is 4,052.
Woo!
Okay, it's going to get interesting.
It's very interesting now. They have the man advantage. Mad just catches a bullet down to 30. They're both within the 1 shot of JW's revolver. And Golden's in somewhat of a surprise position. He's chipping away at Dupree's health even more. 20 HP, no. He does it. Body shots in the USP. A spray from Magisk on the
revolver
descent.
Clutch.
A revolver clutch required, and he is tagged up. Tumbleweeds. There's not enough space in the server for both of them.
Got to ask yourself, did he fire 5 bullets or 6?
Magisk has opted for Secret, so they aren't going to meet until the bomb's planted lower. And JW with no kit, his chances do diminish as soon as this occurs. So, retrieved rifle, that does bode well.
Yeah, that's kind of...
The crowd doesn't like that one.
Kind of taking the hype out of the round somewhat.
Come on, yappa.
Well, Magisk will get a bomb down towards lower. There's no problem there.
The molly is great in JW, though, if he identifies his position. So if Magisk doesn't just hide straight away and JW gets to catch like a foot, or they have a little skirmish, he can isolate him with this Molotov.
Ooh, if he goes behind the bomb side especially, but Magisk nails the shot. Well played. Big round there for Astralis to pick up at that point. It's going to be 5-2. Money, still going to be strong for Fnatic. Bear in mind, that was just a revolver round from them. So USPs, revolvers, the standard sort of stuff. And managed to bring it right down to the 1 versus 1. So we will see the AWP for JW. M4's coming out as well, and no Kriegs still to be spotted. So Astralis more than happy to operate under the AK-47. This was the kill with the revolver on the side of the head. Magisk to close things out though. Managed to pick up all the last 3 kills. This one especially, very nice shot.
Yeah, important round there for Astralis not to lose, because if Golden's USP was... Oh, this is the fast yard smokes where they isolated ladder. We saw that on their first gun round. Going for it again.
I'm just going to drop straight into the yard, and actually they're going wide. They want to take these fights. JW was ready for it this time. Looking to fast respond into the swing here, hoping to catch a T off guard. But there's one pushing up close.
Yeah, that's a dangerous position for him. By that window, he will be exposed, but Dupree's opted for the heaven jump instead. He can hold here for a while. He's heard a footstep, but he is running out of time. His teammates are dropping around him. He knows a player's beneath him. But how does he find him? Goes towards heaven instead. Rush up. Pushing the smoke just gives away a kill for free there.
That's a way back into the round, especially with Dupree's positioning now. There is no way.
Yeah, they have no idea.
No way. Golden's a free frag. It's Brolan, excuse me. And now perhaps towards the top side, Crimson's going to have to react. He's actually tucked himself into hut. JW wants to...
No! That shouldn't happen.
That should not be possible. He's breaking the rules. He's got himself a double kill. And now Glaive's just wondering where it all went wrong. He's scratching his head, hair gel on his fingertips. He's got to pull the trigger.
He has to go lower. That's the only option at this point. He's got to make noise while doing so as well. So just to be clear, when you're on the ladder, you shouldn't have any accuracy. The AWP as well, you're going to have to pull a no-scope off at that sort of range. And he nails it through the wall onto the head. And now it's a 3 versus 1. This was a round where Astralis looked like they had it. They were pulling them apart. They had no idea they had a player towards heaven.
So screwed.
And he is surrounded at this point. He knows his players coming from each and every angle. And we have to see that shot from JW once again. What the hell was happening there?
I mean, that's a guarantee. We call those frags safe frags because he's coming up the ladder. He shouldn't be able to even shoot back. And JW gets the frag on the backstab. I mean, dupreeh was right behind and under enemy lines.
Wow. Yeah. Nothing surprises me with this gentleman anymore. This is the openings. Great stuff from him to exploit their execute. And here we go.
No scope as well.
Has to be.
Must have been.
Oh, he quick scoped it. He quick scoped on the ladder.
Perfectly on the head, and then wins the round. That's the most JW round I've ever seen. Unbelievable.
They got revenge for not winning the revolver clutch.
Yeah.
So that works.
That certainly will work. And I'll remind you that Dust 2, the win Fnatic pose right now on their second map, was thanks to JW starting them off with 2 clutches. It came down to 1v1s. He got 6 kills in 2 rounds to start off the pistol. And the following now, though, seems like Glaive's got up to his usual tricks. Access to main and walking straight into the crosshairs now of J-Dubs. He's having a mad one. Now Flusher eliminating another threat. 3 members of the Danish unit remain, and they continue to take fight. This time, both of them favor the boys from Astralis.
Well, it's looking very good in terms of the trade kills coming through, but they don't have many resources left. This kill might decide the fate of the round. It's a scrappy one from Golden, but he does get the bomb towards lower. No Astralis players to back it up, and that might turn the tide of battle here. 3 versus 2. That kill really did decide everything. It was the difference maker between the bomb going down early and having no CT rotations to now the bomb being segregated and the T's being so far away from it with less than a minute on the clock here. ZipX and dupreeh are going to have to find something out of nothing.
That's not something.
Oh,
it's ugly.
There is a chance though, right? This is the clutch minister himself right here. Golden is low. He knows where the bomb is. That means they're most likely playing around it.
The smoke, though, is brutal, Jad.
I always have faith when I see Zippy.
I don't disagree with you. ZipX can definitely win this, but they're playing it very well. Like the fact he's got to now check Shadow, get the bomb.
He's heard that nade, though.
And there's the window smash, so he's got to deal with this first kill here, which actually probably gets no problem. Oh, maybe the grenade follow-up, but 10 seconds now. His chances really are getting right down to the smallest of margins.
Yeah, now they just live. He doesn't have to do anything. He took too long. But if he was able to, if he threw that nade at Golden's position, if he was confident with a lineup on that, that's a kill. And then things within the last 12 seconds get a little bit interesting. But Fnatic, they've kind of stabilized here. It was looking shaky. They lost the pistol. Astralis went on to convert the next 2. We had Fnatic bounce back with 2 of their own, and then Astralis, well, the same. So at the moment, we're in throes of 2 rounds each. It's a back and forth affair, I think we'd call it. But Astralis, they have to concede. They have to take a save, and Fnatic should be able to mount 3 in a row here. We have seen some special things done with Deagles and Glocks.
It's true, and it takes 1 misstep, 1 overcommitment, and this whole round can come tumbling down. Golden realizing he may be a little too aggressive for the current state of affairs. Not a single nade on the Astralis camp here, so they will be taking their extra time. You can see they're still hanging out in spawn.
Yeah, just bleed out those grenades. They've got nothing themselves here. Have a little chat.
Oh, it could be a lot of cash for Brolin here.
He hasn't really done much with the shotgun so far. You can hear them. They fall out as a grenade there. You can see them like just jump as soon as they heard the nade fall. Everyone getting ready to move out of position, knowing how squishy they are without armor right now. First spot for the kill will come through. $900 in the bag. Could be another one as well. JW, Crims, making light work here of Astralis. Just Glaive remaining, just trying to steal away 1 cheeky frag if he can. It's up to Fnatic whether he gets it or not. They don't need to push him. They don't need to upgrade anything. No one needs this kill. Maybe Broland could justify it, knowing he can get $800 or $900 with shotgun. But there we go. Crims to close things out. That's about it. And it's 5-5. This was spiraling out of control. Remember, they were, what, 5-2 down on the CT side? And they've stabilized here. 5-5. Broken the money down to the point they can't even bring the AWP out. So Device will be forced to stay on the rifle for this point.
I expect to see Astralis go back to just the secret control like I was talking about, or more ramp heavy, where they do the secret smokes and then they send 3 or 4 of them over to ramp to deal with Golden. it could be the change-up they need. The aggressive stuff towards ladder, it was nice. It was taking the fight to Fnatic. It was kind of getting the game going, and it was outside of their traditional wheelhouse. So I enjoy the mix-up early. It's meant Fnatic's game plan coming in has probably been rocked.
Right, like all of the stuff you prepared to be handling, you haven't met, you haven't seen yet.
But I think it'll start to come into play now. So are Fnatic ready for that mix-up? Are Astralis going to make that call? Those are the two questions we have on our lips right now as the US Air Force tactical timeout will be coming to its close. Trying to illustrate the worst CT side pistol rounds of all Stage 2 teams.
Yeah, pistol rounds has not been Fnatic's strong suit, and quite the contrary, of course, to their opponent, which we've seen translate into the pistols of this series as well.
Force buys are just a bit more fun, I think. You know, like the scouts,
yeah,
the
Fnatic
shotguns,
thrive in the second round. That's their pistol round. Getting a little highlight reel of Magisk. He's been one of the top contributors so far, and this quad kill was one of the most important kills he got.
JW, though, this was probably the most impressive kill we've seen all day. AWP, quick scope on a ladder, on a rounder on the back foot, just when they need it. And Broadline will stick on the auto shotgun, just to note. Got one of the best aims in CSGO in the world right now, and it's going to be using the spread shotgun.
Well, I think if he can't get the Krieg, Henry, that's his next preferred weapon.
I guess so. They're not going to give him a Krieg, so he has to use a shotgun. Those are his two options.
So here's the secret smokes, the traditional approach. Nagus leading the way. Oh, the smoke wall has been
They might be
thwarted.
Ready just to right-click one.
There we go.
Yeah, just to make, like, knowing that there's a lot of buggery right now with the incendiaries and the timings on them. Maybe just a right-click is the better solution in general.
Ahead of the molly and into the crosshair. Crims gets 1.5. He didn't necessarily get the kill credit. That was Glaive putting a bullet into the teammate's back, and the shotgun not going to work at that range. Astralis, they have a huge advantage here. Golden and Flusher in a position to squander it. They are in the right place, or at least Golden is. Where's Flusher? He's coming in towards ramp room, and he's already eliminated the threat.
I don't mind this at all from Fnatic. I think they win this round, to be honest with you. Golden's been so solid towards lower, but they're going upper. Good call. Knowing that they was transitioning towards ramp, it probably suggested upper will be clear. Device has confirmed that, and the race is on now. Can he get there before they even get the bomb down? Apparently not, but maybe he can actually get out of this one. Smokes off towards heaven, and he's going elsewhere. So trying to avert all the attention towards that side while his teammate potentially gets at the vent here. It looks like they might be potentially saving, but we'll see what Flush has got in mind. They have got a bit of utility as he goes towards lobby now. They really need to get their skates on. Golden's going to have to make the entry kill, trying to make a bit of noise here. Good incendiary. It actually works out, but he locks himself in somewhat. Has to get a kill on the ladder. He's pretty much done for. Can Flushy do anything about this? The auto shotgun could work.
Oh, it looked like it was the weapon for the job, but still Device is holding supremacy in this battle between the two of them. Flush is going to catch one on the exit. He may even get a second on the exit. That's not too shabby. Just Glaive with 10 HP. Golden could even find him. This round's not quite done. But looks like Golden's going to just about miss out.
Look at Astralis' money right now.
Yeah,
their money is screwed.
Flusher did a lot then.
Yeah, so much damage right there has been done. The T's, they can't actually get a buy going. Glaive's going to have to drop across an AK. They're going to have some Mac 10s probably in the mix here.
Which might be fine. All things considered on a map like Nuke, considering they get down the vents so easily on this particular map, it adds an extra string to their bow, a bit of pacing behind it. So they've actually gone for, what, 4 AK-47s and a CZ?
Yeah, Zippy went for no head armor.
Okay then, so that's going to mean the M4s have one-tap potential against him now, but generally speaking, it's not the worst buy. It's certainly possible they can pick this one up. Device not having a rifle is a concern, but Dupree, he'll be leading the charge towards outside. Good smokes down towards main entrance on top of CT boxes as well. He cannot be spotted. I'll see if they can...
They know it's a fake. They have 2 at ramp ready for this.
Oh, they have. They're prepared.
Golden, big spray down opportunity, doesn't nail it, has to go for the nade instead, and Broadland's been set up, no shotgun this time. M4A1 bullets, making their way forward, and he lines them up. Good for 2, but that's not good enough. A 3-on-3 situation now as Astralis make their way towards lower.
JW catch him. Dupree's waiting around main to find that frag. But JW slowed all down. Bomb's loose now. He has it on ramp. You can see the decision making. This mid-round's about to get real interesting. So Glaive took 2 kills in ramp room. He's tucked himself in far back to catch any CTs trying to use that as a route through. 50 seconds. Eventually the time will become the enemy of Astralis. Fnatic, they welcome the passing seconds. Glaive, however, they're being let or allowed to pick up the bomb. Should encourage a push. Now look at the time Flush has taken before he returns to ramp room. Now Glaive has left, and now Glaive is gone, knocked out of the server. dupreeh, where are you, and what can you possibly do? He walks through Secret, knife out with 20 seconds and a loose bomb ramp. This is another Fnatic round unless dupreeh is feeling something rather ridiculous.
Well, considering their money situation coming into this round, he needs to pull off a miracle here. It's not going to happen. JW, the hero yet again, will finish things off. It's that Flusher JW combo. We've seen it for years. It's still delivering here today.
It's been going for a long time at this point, boys. Over 5 years they've been going at it and still going strong. Do you think we'll still be going in 5 years' time?
I hope so.
Yeah?
Fingers crossed.
I hope so too. It's the first time we've ever tried this whole little tri-cast setup. I think it's going pretty well.
Yes,
we've got the old classic squeals and screams and hype. We've got a Chad strategic breakdowns as well. Seems to all coming together quite nicely. It's got its own charms.
It definitely feels like something different, and different is good.
Change is as good as a holiday, my mum would always say.
Change is as good as a holiday.
But she would go on a holiday every 6 months, so I'm not quite sure.
You make it sound like she's living a life of luxury. That's quite unusual to go on holiday once every 6 months.
Well,
it's not being unreasonable.
They worked very hard when they had us, and now that we're gone, my sister and I, they have money and time, and they still work.
So detach the financial leeches.
I hope she finds the happiness she deserves.
Yeah, me too.
For now, into round 13 of our second map, and it's our second stage, second day. Should just be...
Go on.
I was going to say, GW finding the opening, but he's missed his shot, and reactionary utility is being thrown out. A flashbang to slow them on the cross. And they're actually hitting ramp room. Golden took a lot of damage early. That's not bad with the Glock.
He knew he was done for there, so he's just trying to stay around for one kill, knowing he's going to be taken down for sure. And there's actually a chance they win this now. It's that snowball effect we talk about, turning into an avalanche very quickly. If you find a kill like that in a key choke point, like the ramp room, things can really get out of control pretty quickly. They're shooting each other now. They're not sure what's going on. They've still got an outside player to deal with here. And Majors, every second he buys out here is actually costing them the round, and still he's a nuisance. Finally, he's taken down, but this means Flush is alone. I think the round's already over.
They have to save. Look, the CT money is in just a terrible spot as what the Ts were that we were talking about previously. They have to save on this round. This right here could be the turning point of this game.
They just got full E-code.
He's
going to get the last one. Not quite, but Astralis, one pick. Why did those Glocks feel so intimidating?
There was a Deagle in the back line, so maybe the Deagle hit him. We couldn't really tell, but he just was out of position, and Henry's bang on. Once you're getting overwhelmed in that scenario, your best bet is to go for frags, because he couldn't run away. He was too far to squirrel on down the ramp and turtle up, so he had to just go for kills. And when he doesn't get a kill, and you don't have anybody close to plug that rotation, you're in a lot of trouble right there. I like the idea to deal with the outside presence, get rid of that lurker, take that question mark away. They just weren't expecting 2 players, and that's where it really got confusing for the side of Fnatic.
At big events of all time, Device is the best player in the world on Nuke. 1.22 rating across 82 maps. At one point, Astralis did have a 32-0 run with online and LAN. I think that's just LAN games, no, 32-0, right? So, yeah, they definitely had a good streak, and we'll see if they can continue it here with the upper rush through Squeaky Door. All the grenades through it as well. Up against Pistols on the bomb side. Crimson get delivered with the 5-7-4. He's good for 1 at this stage, but JW has been locked out of the site, spamming the walls, hoping for the best. Same story for Golden here, as the Flames land at his front door. He'll have to fall back and hold on to the little weaponry they have.
Oh, that's such a great call. Straight top side, completely changing the pace. I bet that's put a smile on your face.
Yeah, that was great stuff. If we can maybe have a look at the replay for the flashbang effect coming in. They're throwing those from T-Spawn, Chad. It must have been a lot thrown to send 5 players through the Squeaky Door. Yeah, be interested to see what they could bring to the table in that regard. How did they fend them off so effectively? It looked like every player went through the Squeaky Door at that point. So were they smoking towards main entrance and flashing behind them?
Oh, he's doing it again on the exit, though. Like, they're not going to win the round, but Flush has just killed everyone. No time for the defuse, wants to get them nervous, though. He did have a kit, but he'll back away with all members of Astralis going down. He's done that twice now, keeping the T side at least a little honest. It won't have repercussions, but now we can see those flashes.
Here we go. So they're going to net up and Squeaky. Nothing coming out through the rafters at all.
Nothing skylights. Yeah. So that was what I wanted to know. Is it like a really technical, intricate strategy with Molotovs coming through and skylights and stuff? No, just constant bombardment of flashbangs there through the Squeaky, and everyone is getting out and no one's stopping. You notice everyone kept pressing W there? Yeah. No one's slowing down for a fight. You run and gun, you get stuck in, and you use those flashbangs to overwhelm the CTs and get control and make sure you're spaced out so they can't get multi-frags there. Could be an Another round for Fnatic on the cards. If Brolan can keep that up, a nice early kill towards ZipX keeps the game competitive here. Astralis have won the half, but Nuke is not the CT side of affair it used to be. And now on the 5-on-3, Fnatic look very good for their 7th round. It's up to them to give it away at this point. Just need to tuck in. Don't need to push smokes. Everyone just calm down.
Ooh, Glaive. Could have got caught out there. Surprised he didn't. JW misses a shot, but Flush is not missing anything in these last few rounds. That's a clinical dissection of dupreeh. The boost, they were ready. JW was looking for it. He's even taken Glaive. And just Magis stopping it from being a perfect round to finish the half, but it's there. Feels pretty perfect to me. A triple kill from JW seals the 8-7 half. Astralis, a minor lead coming into their defense on their map. A must win. We'll see how they fare after a moment. Yeah, I'd say we've still got the potential. There is the vibe for a potential 2-0, but it is entirely in the hands of both Fnatic and Astralis. It did look like Fnatic did manage to keep up, if for lack of a better word, with the Astralis T side, but it did certainly feel like they were the ones dictating. The Danes did feel more in control.
Trust me, though, this can still be a 2-0, and it all starts here. Nice little heaven smoke there thrown by Golden. It didn't have to shoot out the window there. It actually went through the skylight window, smashed on roots. So if we could grab that one, potentially after team. That would be great.
Yeah.
Either way, it's going to be an upper push. You can see that Heaven smoke down. This is a really cool strat. G2 used to run this back in the day. This is an old school strat. dupreeh is ready for it. He'll get the first headshot. Looks like Astralis are handling it well. The 5-7 should make light work of Golden here. So a nice strat. Like I said, this is the old G2 approach. You go through ramp of smoking Heaven and go straight up towards ladder, knowing they can't see you, but it is very telegraphed. You're aware of the strat. You can reposition, and it seems like Astralis were well aware of it.
Yeah, but you can see that there's clear evidence of Fnatic trying to improve their pistol round stats. They are a little measly, but it seems that Astralis just continue to rack them up. Glaive opting for the 5-7 and actually managing to find 2 in the absence of his Kevlar and that $500 pistol. We're going to be seeing a lot of SMGs, 3 to be precise, up against the full eco from Fnatic. No bomb plant, no force buy.
Well then, here we go. Full eco. Fnatic not investing a single dollar here, not even a flashbang. There they go, and they've actually got the first kill. They've put down the vent here. A ding comes in. There's actually a chance they get the bomb planted. I don't think they win the round off this, but we'll see if ZiBX can deny the plant. Good job so far. The bomb's going towards upper. Oh my god, this is next level. How have they pulled this one off? They still think it's going to be lower, surely.
The absolute ninjas. I think dupreeh saved the day, but what a play from Fnatic on the full eco to sell it enough to get a bomb plant. That's not easy to do.
Yeah, it's not often I get too excited on these sort of rounds. Nothing invested from Fnatic, but they sold that so well. The vent dive, suggesting they're just trying to get the bomb down towards lower. Scraper plant down there. ZiBX took a hook line and sinker. He's calling. They're coming down towards lower. They're flooding the site. Everyone get down.
Crossing decon.
And of course, Golden's waiting towards upper. Sneaks the bomb through. If you're not aware, getting the bomb down in those sort of rounds grants an extra $800, not just for the plant dive, but an extra $800 for every player on the team going to the next round. So if your money's a little bit buggered, that's a great way to just inject a nice amount of cash going forward. So yeah, that replay worth its weight in gold, if you don't mind me saying, as he does get the extra cash coming through.
So, with the extra cash, they can have everything they want. And finally, Brollan will get his Krieg. He has to get on his own T-sides for that to happen. Let's see how that's going to incite his fragging. 11 to 12 coming into this half, and the pistol. Going to be seeing quite a lackadaisical hold of outside. It will just be Glaive looking for more reactionary info. And for now, nobody's home on silo.
Not at all. Setting up their outside smokes. A lot of teams will opt to do this in the mid stages of the round to avoid the incendiary battles that occur towards outside. Molotov at secret, just to fend off any players like Device waiting there, the AWP. He has brought that out for this first big gun round now. Glaive just trying to get some damage from the smoke here. One bullet connects, that's towards Brollan. And he's got the Krieg now, so you'll see a lot more from him. Device usually hits those, but here we have got a couple of kills coming through. It's a flash assist from Device to yield 2 kills for Glaive.
Yeah, that's going to put them in very good stead. I'm just trying to force Device out, but he has repositioned to a more passive line. This is a very common angle. You can use the glass to just keep you extra obscured. ZiBX got info on his cross back. He sees one ramp, so for now they'll just dig their heels in. Silence on the battlefield. One on each vent from Astralis. Top side's going to be brutal. Paranoid about hurt. You walk into the crosshairs. He's going to win that duel. Magisk will win his. And Astralis, they've only got one more player to battle, one more to topple, but it's Golden. And he seems to have a bit of a mission ahead of him. Planting, faking, and all drawing out the more fights. 5 seconds as he tries to get this one down. Device likely to try and stop it. Doesn't want any extra cash being injected into the ecosystem, at least not for his opponents.
And it's quite a simple procedure there for Astralis towards the end, managing to hold on to their AWP and M4s respectively. Fnatic now will be 3-0 down. Their first gun round doesn't lead them to a bomb plant. They're going to have to be down to the partial buy once again. More of the same, I'm afraid. CZs, PD50s, no revolvers on the T side for JW. Grims will have his Deagle. You'll probably see an outside execution with smokes here. Try and get the bomb down towards lower by the vent, something like that. And Brollan's going to attempt that right now. Flashbangs come through. You can see effectively pushing towards upper. Mate just burns one to a crisp and make it a couple. It's the bullets to do most of the damage, and dupreeh will continue to find that. And it looks like we will have ourselves a confirmed round here, as Flush's kill is influential in any sort of way.
I mean, Crims could try and get top site. Flush is trying to help him up. They smoked off main, maybe a bomb plant as they can piece this one together. Heaven's the threat. They'll plant and cover from main. Nade won't land. Oh, it will. Oh, bomb does go down. He'll take that one with pride, but maybe there's more pride to be found because flusha smoked off, and a fresh magazine does make things a little more difficult. And the defuse will come in just a moment's time. Taking it out for now. flusha's just holding down his mouse one. Trying to play the game, and he's actually done well enough to at least evade the push. Glaive forced to his sidearm too. But there we have it, 12.
It was very nice movement there from flusha, to say the least.
That was cool.
I thought he gets that kill with the CZ at that point. I think that would be a round victory in its own right. Either way, it will be Astralis, though. Picking things up is a very common flash approach. The HG actually thrown by Glaive there to do so much damage towards Crims. And this is after the full spam. Glaive finds himself in an awkward situation where the USB comes out on top, even with the knife drawn. Astralis now going to be 4-0 up as the Krieg purchased for Brolan once again. He's 12 and 14 right now. Golden, haven't seen a whole lot from him, 7 and 11. Did have a couple of big rounds in the first half, but numbers aren't really reflecting that as of yet. Astralis on the CT side now, looking very comfortable to take us to a third.
One note here, they have an aggressive outside stance right now on the Astralis side of things. They're ahead of these smokes, so they know that it isn't going to be the outside play.
Tops and flashbangs, they're doing so well. Good call, Chad. Good explanation as to why I'm seeing ZipX fighting ramp so aggressively. Now backing away, though. His Molotov's bought him time, but he hasn't been able to reposition. They know he's on the left side. He's bought so much time with the flashes. His bloodshed does equalize the total, though. 4v4.
Yeah, he wanted to get one more there if possible, but now it's up to the AWP. Device, perfect position to get a couple here. Normally going to be smoked out from window, but will they actually have the resources to do so? I don't think so. They have to challenge this, and it's one that doesn't work out for them. It's going to be the first shot connecting. The second is beautiful. Device just showing us what he's made of here. As he looks for a third, he's going to have to be the quick scope, but this guy is just a master of his craft, looking to close things out in true style here. Glaive will pick up that final kill, and it's a very solid hold there. Inferno looking very likely, boys.
Yeah, I've got a sneaking suspicion that's pretty much a good microcosm of what we can expect for the rest of the CT side. Device. Love the fact that he got that adjustment into the first. He's holding the angle, but he's ready to adjust. Falls back. The doors are open, so he can catch the next. Look at that. Perfect shot onto Golden. He knew what their game plan was. The third is just the cherry on top.
Yeah. Poetry in motion there with the AWP. Loving that from Device. Everything makes sense. All the shots connect. And everything else is denied for Fnatic.
They've collected those 2 Kriegs in back-to-back rounds now, so the single purchase from Fnatic has operated in 2 Kriegs on the CT side.
It's a good point. They're trying to limit the amount of Kriegs given over, but it's still landing in favor of the CTs. His Device this time aggressive towards outside, known to be a very dynamic AWPer. This time focusing his efforts towards the T-Red. Finds the open up, stuck in the smoke for now. They know he's still in that position as he tries to fall back here. Can he get away?
He's worried about Silo, but flusha, too wise for his tricks, will not let the aggressive AWPing go unpunished. And that's some damage. My God, ZipX. He's tagged him up, and it's Glaive to at least knock one of them down. Could be JW in jeopardy here, but Magiska's focused his attention elsewhere. My goodness, it doesn't matter where he seems to post himself.
Well, that's the bomb down towards Secret, and we're back to a 2-on-2. JW and flusha incredibly low, but the former making his way towards ramp. Looking for the big backstab here. Could be enough. He has got the likes of ZipX in front of him, but yes.
You did hear that ladder.
In the head position, free fire comes through, and they've actually got the advantage now.
Oh, baby.
Magus can still win this.
Has he seen the bomb, or is it tucked behind
He killed the bomber.
Secret?
He knows where it is.
Yeah, okay, cool. 40 seconds. They know you have to force him off the line of sight of the bomb. flusha's waiting for the frag, but Magiska's won it. They're so low. It's all about reactions and aim. One bullet from either of the guns. JW is the one to prevail, and he likes that one. He likes that a lot.
It was such a good idea from Magus as well. It was well thought out. The smoke down there, a low HP JW. He just didn't account for the fact he could jump on top of that box, look above the smoke. Obviously a very chaotic moment. You think you've done him. He's going to be walking through the smoke and hoping for the best, or toward that CT box on the right, but JW up top. Didn't see it coming. Mages taken down there, even though he did a great effort there towards main entrance to try and make that round theirs. Bit of an odd start here with the Glocks, and I guess someone was a bit AFK.
They were trying to work out who was dropping flusha. He had to buy himself last minute. He didn't opt for a UMP or any fun guns. He's gone for the AK-47 this time around.
Good to see.
Standard smoke wall outside. It will not be blocked. They can have that avenue of access to Secret. And they're going to take it with 3 individuals, but Device.
Oh, that's more like it, Brolan. Okay. We talk about this Krieg versus all battle. This time, it lands in favor of the rifle and ZipX. They'll have to rotate down towards lower here.
They must know this. This is the standard play from Astralis, getting control of this window. It's their priority on the T side, and same for the CT retakes. Brolin finds another.
Not worried about window.
He might even call it clear.
I think he saw him.
Yeah, okay, we'll catch him in the end. So the CTs left are so disconnected from the site. It's one of the, as we say, the most notoriously difficult sites to retake. Right up there with actually B site Dust 2, which we had as our first map.
Yeah, you've got like outside bomb side and train, bomb side B on Dust 2, and lower on Nuke. Yeah. Outside the top 3.
In no particular order.
Yeah, there's no real way to quantify it. It's all kind of us and our opinions, but you know what I mean.
Exactly. Glaive
will be pulling one back at least. The round is falling in favor of Fnatic, and a much needed one as well. It's only their second so far, but they are back-to-back. So going to be finding themselves at 5-2, 39 overall. 3 players survive, and it's Broadline with that Krieg that cracks open the lower area there. The first shot just stunning. Let's see if he even needs a scope for this. Definitely not complete. One tap to the head. Another one at ramp, and then Crims. We did spot ZipX here towards the window room. We'll be confirming the round. That was the kill that really decided it all.
Now, there's obviously a strat around that. We saw it. It was the secret smokes, but that was just to facilitate the room for Brolin to find the frag. Realistically, with that spawn and just the tenacity that this kid has, his mechanical ability is so on point. That is as simple as, hey, Brolin, we're going to throw some smokes for you. Go kill them lower for us.
Right.
And when that happens, it just shows you how easy the round can be. That opening, and they had full access. Device, the AWP yet again. This time will not find himself in secret. Wants to stand and fight. He's been aggressive with the AWP. We've seen him move around a bit already within this second half. And there it is. He gets revenge on Brolin this time round. Lightning fast. Golden's also kept on notice, so they don't want to deal with Device anymore.
I don't think anyone does at this stage. Hitting a lot of impressive shots. Looking to close things out here on Nuke. It's their pick. Came very close to a huge resurgence on Dust 2 after losing 12-3 in the first half. Incredibly close finish on that first map. Actually ended up 16-13. Still 5-on-4 in favor of the CTs for now, but they have a bit of damage. And JW's towards lower. They have no idea. ZipX, you're done for, my friend. Towards ramp we go. Glaive needs at least one here. He'll get that, but I think that's all he'll find. AK-47 does get a second go here. Desperately tries to hold onto his mouse pad.
Yeah, I think his wireless mouse was giving him a bit of jip there, but no, jokes aside, Crims is going to get another one on the ramp. He's even falling away. He's still alive. Not for much longer. We'll have to take the fight, but the utility arrives just in the meantime. So Flush has got himself decon. He's going to be playing around with the door to keep their attention drawn.
I like this from JW.
Yeah, very nice.
Tucking himself in, hidden behind the door. Flush is with him as well. It's looking great. In terms of the kit situation, there is one available, but no smoke. I felt like Fnatic had done enough at this point. It would have to take a straight-up wallbang towards JW to even enable a defuse at this point. Why would you think he's there in such a strong position? And he's out on the bomb is clear. I don't know whether that was the time he wanted to swing out necessarily, but he does go down. That should be Magisk as well, being dropped. That's a little bit crazy.
Come on, Gabe.
He's down there with the bomb next to it.
It's an open, it's an open site. No.
I kind of get
stop the explosion.
If you did like an Indiana Jones, you got inside the fridge, for example, maybe that would be fine. But you didn't. You're in the open. And
in a nuclear power plant.
You would think that would be enough to kind of take you out. At least put you on your knees, get you coughing. But
give us something, Gabe. Don't worry about the Krieg. Keep that overpowered as anything. Just fix the bomb situation for me, all right? I don't want players to be surviving in the bomb site. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, there is a whole punishment mechanic that's definitely taken a bit of a back seat, but into a round that they're just really going. Little scared with the Zeus. Close quarters AWPing. Device might actually win it. He's got 2 opening frags. Close quarters. Madness has got another. Crims has no health, has no hope. He's got 3 more to find.
The Zeus actually finds a kill here as well. Device with a close range AWPing picks up 3 in total. It's the Zeus that connects as well. Fnatic go for the upper rush, and it's the worst call they could have made there. Device ready and waiting with the shotgun AWP. Does land them. Round number 14 here. Fnatic, sure, they got double digits, but they're running out of funds. They will take a US Air Force tactical timeout at this point and sit on around $2,000. It is pick your poison time. Do you fully invest now and try and deny map point for Astralis Astralis, or do you bide your time and try and scrape together 5 with the rifles? I think you pretty much have to buy here. Here's the replay from Device, just negating the flashbangs and hitting all these close-range shots. You can see his teammates here jumping in front of him, making sure they can take some of the aggro. As it comes through, the screams there of the Fnatic players as the Zeus connects, 1,000 volts surging through their body.
It's the buy, it's the all-in.
They've pushed all their chips to the center of the nuke table.
The top rush didn't work for them just then, and now with pistols on board and some MAC-10s, it's curious as to what approach they could possibly go for here. The secret wall smokes are standard. They've been given access to that a couple of times. You can snowball lower with this close-range weaponry there. Top rush could be on the cards again, but they just got absolutely destroyed by Device. It looks like they're slowing it down. This isn't the approach that you necessarily want with these pistols, but they do have the utility to back it up. There's the smoke wall.
On the smoke, they use it as their cue to go. The trades are favoring Astralis, but only for a moment. Perhaps this force buy has some legs after all. Or will it really be another Device? Close quarters, AWP is missed. Now the flashes arrive, so does Crims. A second kill, now an AWP for him to work with, an upgrade from the CZ before. Magisk and ZipX to save. This should have been a locked-in Astralis round, for lack of a better word.
Well, the bomb's in lower right now in the vent, so Flusher has to clear top. He might get the timing on Magus right here. He's seen him, taps away. They're going to swarm him right now. The Molotov will do the job, or Golden will get in first, and now it is just Zipnix.
Oh, they've actually done it. They've avoided certain death here. At 14-10, Fnatic fully invested the CZs, the MAC-10s, and it works out for them. One player survives, that's going to be ZipX, and I don't think he'll be clutching his way out of this one. Fnatic will at least extend. I'll stay here on mute. And ZipX looking to survive the round if possible. Making his way towards the ladder now. Not going to be going for this one, holding onto the T-sided rifle. Makes his way back towards spawn, and that's probably where he'll stay for the rest of the round, the last few seconds of it.
So it's a $1,900 loss bonus going into the next round. Glaive's going to need a drop. Device, or maybe someone can drop him across the AWP.
Magisk's got cash.
Yeah, so they should be able to make this buy work right here. Shouldn't be too many problems. Fnatic, they still have compromises. Even with that round win, even with the saved AWP, they still will have a couple of compromises with their buy here. This was phenomenal stuff, but Device with an uncharacteristic miss right there, and you see him trying to push on out and make up for that miss. Well, the flashes that were being thrown, he didn't see them and actually got completely blind as he swung to make up for that missed AWP shot. So it's all falling apart right there. Match is paused right now. Have to talk through these buy situations. There is a lot to discuss.
Yeah, focusing on the rounds to come, not the ones that have already been, I would imagine. Astralis, Inferno is just 2 rounds away for them. It's just with outside of reach. And Fnatic have just now put the thought back into the Danish brain that this could very well be a 2-0 series. It felt like just after conceding that, after the top site fail from Fnatic, they throw their bodies into the brick wall, Devices close quarters AWPing. It did look like Inferno was a guarantee. And now, just 1 round later, Fnatic give us a second guess.
Well, it's going to be a difficult few rounds to break Astralis once again, but there certainly is a chance a 2-0 could occur. Astralis now with the AWP Device. Glaive on 22 kills, Mages 23. It all sounds great. We are missing ZipX, but he is the ramp player. Not many frags available on that side of the map, to be fair. Outside smokes coming in quickly from Fnatic. Do they send big numbers behind it, though? Boosting the player on towards the first box. Allows the AWP to get an advantageous angle towards any aggressive players. And Glaive's known for that. But this time, yes, indeed, a big gap. And he's watching it like a hawk.
Does Brolan have a smoke for underhand?
Brolan's dead. Oh, the timing there. He still goes down. Fair play. Nice work for Glaive there. Could be enough to find map point.
Yeah, it's looking very promising, just like that.
So did they deny that smoke
I heard
with the
an
incendiaries?
extinguish.
I'll have to have a look.
Let's have a look, because it really is the biggest
back.
talking point of the nuke right now. Is it worth even doing the outside smokes from T-spawn if they can be denied and gaps can occur? Or was it simply a misthrown smoke, which is unlikely considering the lineups and how often they throw them. Glaive will get his second of the round here. That's going to be a 5-on-3. I don't see a world of Fnatic even get back into this one unless Crims gets a Dillick timing towards ramp, which apparently he's gifted.
Okay. Maybe there's a few more chapters to the round 26 book.
The lack of utility is very worrying for Fnatic right now. They haven't established enough map control to find these normal gaps that they can get away with, so they need to trade efficiently. And that right there is a huge shot from
That's
Golden.
like a sniper. His M4 just laser beams Glaive out of the server.
Wow.
So then 3-3, Dupree could be a little vulnerable. He's on top site. He's now going to be paranoid for main after Golden did find that frag all the way back at CT spawn.
This is the perfect position for it as well. They can clear up behind the bomb box and plant safe. It's just time now. 10 seconds. They have to go.
Oh, the perfect lineup. Magisk is going to get both of them. Crimson Flush at the second he peeks. It's a tiny pixel, but it's both bodies on top of each other. Puts 15 on the board for Astralis.
Here we go. Here's the smoke wall situation that's going on. Deep, aggressive by the CTs. They've dropped a molly here.
There you go.
And thus the gap that we found. Brolin went down and Golden took all that damage. So it was a gap caused by Astralis.
An early incendiary from the CT side creates a slight gap. It gives Glaive 2 frags. So sure, they do no damage with that incendiary, but it's used in a different way to enable them to find kills with it. So it's very, very impressive, and we'll see Astralis find map points indeed as they rush towards up as the pistols only. A UMP thrown into the mix, but it looks like we're all done here. Dupree making light work of them here as he sprays them down one by one. He's on for the ace. He won't pick it up, but Astralis with an undeniable victory there on Nuke. They look fantastic throughout it. A good resurgence from Fnatic, to be fair, but it will be tied up at 1-1 now as we move on to Inferno next. We'll take a break and be back to talk about this map. Flush's utility damage on Inferno. He is the absolute master on this particular map. He'll be posting big numbers. We'll try and follow it as the game continues, but his T-side and CT-side utility usage is exceptional.
Yeah, which reminds me, of course, of how Fnatic's T-pistol looked, actually, initially. We may not see it, of course, initially, but they actually did a double stack nade towards the boost spot on B. As their T-pistol. It killed Nico, and they just flooded into B. So keep your eyes. There is a lot of tricks and little quirks to both of these teams on Inferno.
Yeah, we've been lucky we get to watch almost every single game. So we're watching the meta of these teams evolve within the microcosm of one tournament, and you can see the tendencies and things that they either work for them or didn't work for them they aren't going back to. But right here, right now, this one should deliver. The first two, they definitely went the distance, but this one right here should be everything we want and more.
Who have you got winning, Chad?
Oh, I'm going to go with Fnatic.
All right.
Against the grain.
I wanted to say the same as well. I feel like Fnatic could do this now. After their impressive performance against FaZe yesterday, remember 16-6 against one of the world's best. Astralis looking in good form after Nuke, but I feel like Fnatic have got enough what it takes. Starting the CT side, they're going to need a bit of that JW magic. Remember, 24 kills yesterday on his performance, and the 16-6 game was magnificent. It was marvelous, but he's up against the best now. Astralis looking to buy back an Inferno.
And so it's time for the pistol round. Prepare yourselves, prepare your friends, and prepare your poggers. We're getting into our third map. Three towards the banana. Bomb left at spawn. They have no intentions of early exchanges. At least that's the T side I'm talking about, because Brollan has. He wants to bring the fight to Xyp9x, and the CZ draws blood early.
Nice movement. We're seeing this more and more. The CZ towards that boiler or apartment position. This time very aggressive with it. Removes Xyp9x early on, and here's the reply. Device is actually getting one towards CT spawn and Ruins here. The Glock is going to be an absolute nuisance. The HE is deployed, and it's worked out nicely. Flusher absolutely devours Device at this point, and the bomb will be planted, but it's a 5 versus 3. So they've got the money for the next round, and it's up to dupreeh now to fend off 3 players pushing that banana position.
He doesn't know what he wants to do. Magisk perhaps to bait him in as best he can. No, just separated on the sandbags. Magisk needs another one quickly, and Brollan's doing everything he can to avoid it, but JW finds it. Glaive at a shooting gallery. Flusher, however, will deal with it, and we will see Fnatic deal with the Astralis T pistol. 1-0.
Well, it got quite exciting there for a second.
It certainly did. I thought that that banana hold was going to work.
Yeah, it looked like Glaive had the potential for a couple of kills there, to be honest with you. Mages gets 2, but unfortunately for them, Fnatic had already done the damage there. It was a nice hold after getting the initial kill with the CZ. It forces Astralis in towards B. They had to try and make a quick reaction there, knowing there was aggressive players towards the apartment position. They got in towards B, Device towards the Ruins, but taken down by Flusher. That was pretty much their only avenue of approach that was going to work out for them. If Device gets that quick kill, they probably get the bomb planted nice and early. Although they did get a bomb plant down, they might have had a better chance of winning the round. So regardless, they will be buying up in this second with 2 AKs and a Galil. No Kriegs to be spotted, and trying to avoid damage here. Mages will just sit in front of the flames, and he's kind of been locked in towards logs here.
Yeah, corralled into that very position. I'm sure Flusher was expecting it. He does find the frag, and the deep smoke enables his safe escape. That's a great start for the CT side. However, there's some more up Astralis' sleeve, straight up long, and he wasn't ready for an AK. Certainly wasn't expecting that. A high flash to buy some time, but now already hitting towards A. This is looking promising. Brollan trying to dig his team out of the hole. That Xyp9x swinging the air, or rather swinging his aim to force him off the line of the Device hay bales. dupreeh pushed up on towards Library. Flusher seems rather aware of it. He knows long was lost.
Yeah, dupreeh, this is a difficult position to make work. It's very commonly checked, and now it'll be given up. It's going to work out for 2, though. Brollan will keep this down to a 2-on-2 situation. Next kill very important, but still a minute on the clock here.
They can go back to B here.
They could fall back, but there is going to be a golden check. It's not the cleanest of kills, but he has managed to bring it into a favor towards Fnatic. Bomb goes down. He can't really patrol it, though. 1 bullet from this AKF Device would take him down. Same story for him, to be fair, as he holds up now. 35 seconds. Golden will have to peel back towards the B bomb site, leaving Brollan alone. Everyone is in 1-tap potential. Just going to hold tight angles here. 1 bullet would do it, and it works out for Golden. 2-0 now for Fnatic. And they kick off his third and final map in true style here, up against the full eco in round number 3.
So one of the strengths of Astralis in the past was their utility usage and how proficient it was. Well, if you note, with the top 10 teams in the world right now, the way that we speak about them is all with that admiration of how well they use their nade to condition parts of the map, or the rallies of nades that we see in Banana, the new exchanges, the new combinations. It's constantly growing, but Astralis are no longer the only team with that strength. Everybody has that. So what they used to use to bully Banana that other teams couldn't do was the grenades. Well, now they have to deal with it on their own, and this could be a tall task for them on the T side here. One of their more recent games played within the Pro League on Inferno. They lost to Ents. I don't know if that really paints a picture for everybody at home.
Lovely headshot. Angle being held by Brolin. And this one's not going to be raising the decibel levels too high. It is just a quick push down middle for Crims to confirm the round. He's already got 2 kills from it. The rest of his team, in fact, they want to get the SMG, finding the frags ideally. Yep. Setting the MP9 up nicely to find good 3 frags into that one. That's going to be an extra 800. Let me try again. 1,800. 3-0 for Fnatic.
I'll take 800 or 1,800, Alex. Whatever you have going,
Yeah.
send it to my PayPal.
Okay, sweet.
Or my bank account, either or.
That's the OG fan club at gmail.com.
Yes, yes. I am the commissioner of the OG fan club.
Yeah, you'll see the neat and tidy frags from the MP9. No real squeals justified just yet, but we are into the full rifles. And again, take note, no Kriegs. Astralis will not be buying the Krieg, so as it does not fall into the CT hands. But bloodshed early in middle. JW's done well to at least take a 1-for-1, but that does favor the T side.
This is meant to be fast mid-control from Astralis to deal with 3 banana play, but JW up close has completely stifled this. They have to respect that Molotov. There's a different look, and whoa, Flusher through the smoke.
Shouldn't be getting that one. That was a AK versus a UMP, with the UMP pushing through the smoke. Now, Chad, correct me if I'm wrong, that favors the AK-47.
Your maths is bang on there,
Okay,
Alex,
good. I didn't forget to carry the one.
No, I think you've nailed that one right there, and so is Flusher. The fact he gets away as well.
He is the master of that side. It's unbelievable. We are going to see him. Even Golden, though, alone towards B. Good grenade. Does do substantial damage towards ZipX, down to 65. And what's their next maneuver here? They have 50 seconds remaining with a couple of smokes and flashes. Don't really need to use them towards middle at this stage of the round. Can probably just contact play this, considering they're at 40 seconds. They'll know the CTs have fallen back to more defensive lines. And they'd be right in thinking so. But Crims here could shut down their efforts. If he times this well, they could go towards Boiler. He might have a couple of kills on his plate.
Definitely looks like they're rotating off. This information that Crims is about to give is going to get a lot of CTs pulled back over. Yeah, Brolin, get your booty back onto the site, because now, oh, Device. He's won the duel on the CT pulled out of position. It all falls down to Crims to delay. He's done a nice bit of utility and information gathering there. By throwing out his flashbang, he caught a glimpse of one. He knows they're both towards the site. Device, however, licked by the flame. I'm not sure if he'll be heard there. And closing the gap, there are kits, but not really the weapon of choice. It's kind of all onto Golden's rifle.
They've actually done well to get in a decent crossfire, all things considered here. But the first shot is stunning from Crims. He's played this round so well. Lots of discipline displayed, didn't overextend, fell back, waited for his teammates here, knowing what's on the line. Looking for 4-0 now. And they'll have to take out the in-game leader if they're going to get it. It's going to be Flusher, low HP will be thrown in first, and Crims there drops to the floor, and I feel like Glaver's done enough. He spotted him towards the apartments, and there it is, the first round on the board for Astralis. They had to fight for it right down there to the last few moments, but they do manage to break through middle, even though Crims fended them off for a good 20 seconds there. It wasn't quite enough, and eventually he goes down.
Good stuff from the in-game leader.
Yeah.
I mentioned him at the start of the day as a player yesterday in their best of 3 against nrv. Found himself in the bottom 5 performers of all of the players we have right now within Stage 2. Well, that new game that we just saw in this clutch right here, he's definitely going to be jumping up the ranking stat-wise, that's for sure. The guns will come back out for Fnatic here. JW aggressive down middle with the AWP, covering off Crims, who's been able to make it to this bench position. Once again, they want to unravel Astralis before they can set up these set pieces. One of their biggest strengths. It's harder to do when you're down 4v5, and, well, Fnatic get the opening yet again.
Certainly do. Nice bit of aggression down towards middle, and Crims is happy to continue with it. Surely taken down at this point. He outstays his welcome, and Brolan, he'll drop Dupree, but it's ZipX with the Mac 10 that upgrades to a rifle now. JW, of course, pushing with the AWP and USP combo. Does he go any further?
He wants ZipX before he can regroup.
Well, he's been told he's dinked, I suppose. So he's got the USP out to trying to find the last bit of damage, but it's a high-risk maneuver with the AWP on your back here. He confirms they're probably heading towards B at this stage, though.
The CT rotation right now means they're out of position if Astralis were to hit the bomb site, but they are just walking back on over. They do have nades.
They've got a smoke for Golden.
He'll be able to delay this for long enough for JW to get in position.
No, they'll buzz through this by the looks of things, I think. Oh. one of those smokes where they're just at the precipice of it. They could just get through knowing it was thrown from spawn. And there's not a whole lot Golden can do about it. The bomb should go down here, but JW, remember, he pushed the apartments. It works out. ZipX drops in the back lines. 3 versus 2. They'll certainly be going for this. They've got a fuse kit on the back of Golden. McGlaive needs to fight once again. 2 players in front of him. One of nades out. HE goes over, and here comes the swing.
Taking JW out. Trade from Flusher puts Magisk into a 1 versus 2. Glaive just clutched it up. And let's see if Magisk can do the same. He certainly cannot. Golden makes sure of that. Quick headshot. We got ourselves a 4th for Fnatic. Straight back.
It's very important to continue to push home Fnatic's CT side defense here. It doesn't actually look like a defense, right? Because they're so far forward. But the idea here is you are unraveling Astralis before they can get into the throes of their gun round. You're not letting them be comfortable with their defaults. You're not letting them go through their dry runs. You're forcing them to play these mid-round situations, which is one of Fnatic's specialties. When they get in these 3v3s and their players are going for pushes like JW was just then, nobody can be expecting that.
Even if it comes down to, like, he pushes down and only gets 1, it discombobulates the T offense, right? They're not going to be dropping the same default or execution. They're going to be missing a key part of it. They're assuming they'll get through the default with all 5 players alive. So Fnatic, they thrive in that sort of environment. They're happy to send players to that full commitment as JW. I didn't think there was a world where he hits that shot, but he's looking for his second now. Are they going to swing on him? He tries to get back towards the bomb site, flashes towards Arch first, and Crims is there to pick up the pieces. Magus will go down, but JW still scrambling for his life here on the site. Up against Deagle, who's on the saved AK-47. We'll see Dupree try and make something of this.
Crims wasn't checking it. He just assumed the smoke would be respected, and if he gets the timing right, this could be huge from Glaive. I think he got spotted enough. Yeah, Golden's going to be holding him, and just as the smoke fades, his life is gone. Where's that bomb? It's heading to B. Rotate's coming in, and does look like there will be at least 1 person across. That's Dupree. Couldn't even make it across. Flusher's playing Call of Duty.
Oh, I know Golden didn't find the frag there, but it was just so funny to see it. It felt like he did. Bounding around with the MP9 in hand. Well, they just dealt with the upgrade right there of Astralis. It was that faster approach to middle, the one that they tried where JW was forward with the rifle. You can see here, look at this. He couldn't be greeted with a better strafe out from ZipX, straight into the crosshair.
Yeah, his head, no less. His fancy Astralis brand beret, Jack Jones beret.
So nades are pretty low for Astralis here, but I think they realize they have to play a bit more heads-up CS. This is, once again, the fast maneuver. They're doing it one more time. We're going to see the boiler molly. We're going to see a fast arch smoke.
Look at those incendiaries down towards Banana. There's 4 CT incendiaries now to go. Bottom and middle, 1 at T-steps, 1 in front of logs, 1 in the logs. Shots connecting at this point as well. Fnatic are so aggressive and active at the start of these rounds here. It's forcing the hand of Astralis. They have to go up towards quad, but they're not done just yet. If this kill comes in for Dupree, they might stand a chance, but before I can even finish the sentence, Brolan will get all 3. The master of the pit position doesn't need the Krieg, manages to light them up and recover an AK-47. 6-1 Fnatic.
They've done their homework here. That's the 3rd time they've run that same set piece. You're seeing the boiler Molotov, there's a smoke over towards Arch, you're not catching that, but it's this same routine of flashes that they think is good enough to deal with a mid defense. Well, JW's turned away from every single one of them. He's been a nuisance every single time. That strategy's pulled out 3 times now. Maybe don't run it again.
Yeah,
maybe go for something a little bit different at this
time
point.
for a change. Perhaps just with the Deagles, that will be the pace change that Astralis are looking for. Just slowing it down with the Deagles. I say that as they do continue their advances towards apartments rather aggressive, and the same could be said for Fnatic on their CT side. Backing away after the nades come in. My God, there was 2 of them. But Flusher, he demands control of Banana.
Yep, T and CT side. Gets the opening frag, and he's not done just yet. Wants a couple more by the looks of things. I would say get the hell out of here with CTs at this stage. That looks well too overwhelming. Brolan will go down. And that's the access point towards quad. They are going to try and grab it if they can, but unfortunately, Crims is waiting on the other side. He's got the MP9, fends them off, pushes them back towards B, and Golden ready and waiting, currently set on 5 and 2. He'll have no grenades, but hits himself in the pool position. Normally good for a couple of frags if you hold it, especially this smoke down. Goes to safer ground now, a bit more cover as he tucks himself in new boxes.
They know it. Flusher's keeping it silent. The back turn of Glaive enables the first. There's only 2 more frags necessary, and Device has managed to claw 1 back, but it will just be the 1. 3 frags for Flusher as he breaks 10. Double digits for one of their main stars.
Dear.
Right, and actually Brollan and Crims are just behind him as well. They are out-fragging and out-maneuvering the Astralis Inferno.
This is getting scary at
Like
this point.
7-1, I mean, at this point it's alarm bells.
Once Fnatic have hit 8 or 9 rounds, at that point they can throw caution to the wind even more so, right? They are playing a style of Counter-Strike right now just to completely unravel Astralis. It's working. I don't know what the response is because Astralis' fast play has been stopped. When they're trying to set up for defaults, they're losing only...
This he's doing it again. Oh, Crims. He wants to send him straight on back, but this time ZipX has managed to catch that early aggression. That is the first time we've seen Astralis deal with it.
Again, that's another frag. This is good stuff now.
They've managed to silence it, and already, look at that. He was expecting to see the push, but Brollan does not bend the knee. He continues his aggressions, at least converts the first frag out of the apartments. He does manage to... Ooh, he was going to go for the aggressive fight on Balk. I thought he'd just drop safe.
Could have been enough there, but unfortunately that's the A side completely ran over now. It's going to be an A finish and another Astralis round on the board, but only the second. Golden and Flush out better off just saving their M4s at this stage. They're both over towards the B side of the map, and Dupree's not happy with that. He's going to make sure he takes him down with him if possible. Bomb to be planted now. That's courtesy of Device. His counterpart, though, Dupree hunting for Golden. Spots him. Not the cleanest shot, but certainly a tidy conversion. We are going to have Flush up just trying to survive at this point. I don't think it's happening. Any second now, they'll get him.
He's going to get taken down.
Dos, and the Descos.
Quattro. I don't know the rest.
I mean, you got to 4. It's better than me.
I can get to 10 in German.
Okay.
10 in Japanese.
You see, 11 and 12 are the funniest numbers in German. They sound really weird. It's like elf and zwölf. Zwölf.
Oh.
Yeah, they're the only weird ones. Zwölf always, to me, sounds like someone that can't really talk. Well, Flusher won't be talking much more in that round, that's for sure. His mouth sealed by lead. Dupree with his Kalashnikov.
JW can either buy the AWP or he can drop a teammate. So let's find out how generous he's feeling today.
JW's a giver.
This is Dupree giving out headshots. This is on towards Golden. He's trying to make sure they didn't survive with any weapons towards the end. The chicken even went down with them, as we'll see round 10 come through. 7-2, but it is a CT-sided map, so no alarm bells for Astralis just yet. But they're looking to break the economy of Fnatic, starting to string some rounds together. Having to extinguish the initial smoke. Lots of utility thrown towards Banana once again. HE to follow it up, doesn't connect.
Finally, Astralis have earned Fnatic's respect. This is a default round. 2 towards top Banana, 3 over towards A. No aggressive pushes. Just the standard CT protocols that we've come to expect.
It only took 9 rounds.
Yeah.
Good observations, Chad. I love it. The default took this many rounds just to be forced out of them. But let's see what Flush has got in store for us. He's just going to be playing CT. Interesting. So that's going to be the early banana control given to Astralis, and they'll be happy to take that for free.
It's below a minute now. They can start using these smokes. Held on to 4 of them for a very long time.
Device really going to be the contact entry point for this B assault? And it's going to work! Just as the smoke was being pulled, now Flush is locked behind a smoke of Astralis' own creation. They're into the B site. The AWP entry frag has converted itself into a 3rd round.
Nothing too tactical required there, Alex. Just walking with a device, what we call a contact play. As soon as he nails that first shot, that's IQ to make their way through. You can't really predict that one, especially being very defensive on the CT side. So that lack of aggression means a lack of information, allowing multiple players from the Astralis side to walk up. Device already scoped in, manages to find that first kill, and in they go.
Flusher not planning to win the round, but with a position like that, he is planning on inflicting some more damage. Glaive comes in scouting. He didn't send Device in first, and so they keep their AWPer with his life intact. Can't say the same for Fnatic, perhaps, because they are hunting. Tex will be met by Crims, so at least 2 members of Fnatic preserve their weaponry. And a 3rd round on the board for Astralis' T side. This is our 3rd map. It was a crazy battle on Dust 2 with an incredible attempt at a comeback from the Danes. We just saw Nuke get converted by the Astralis camp, and so we find ourselves here with a very comfortable lead for the CT side at this moment in time. Fnatic aggression got them here, but just as they return to normality, so does Astralis with a comfortable win.
So in the following round, Fnatic are going to get a $2,400 loss bonus, which will enable them to get a gun round on the board. But if they can make anything happen with these said rifles, they can keep Astralis' economy also quite low. You want to force, in these rounds, the Ts to use as much utility as possible, get as many kills as you can. With the 2 saved guns, a round win, it's not out of the realms of reality here. JW will be aware that Device could have already taken this position.
That's not a great start. First kill lands in favor of Astralis here. Brolan towards the apartments, getting battered and bruised. Still one player here with the AWP as well, but JW might be jumping up in towards his crosshair. Spots the barrel. He's seen it. He's seen the shadow. It's a guaranteed kill. Device is picking them up for free at this point.
That was one of the freest duels you're ever going to see. Device and JW duking it out, but this time not too much of a... Too much resistance from JW. Everything smoke deployed. We're likely going to see that bomb go down as Effect is doing his due diligence, as you would expect. Don't want to be caught out by any pesky P250s. And yeah, that's the round confirmed. Flusher just going to be peppering them with his USP, hoping for a lucky headshot through the smoke.
This is where Inferno can get a little bit blah, right? There's been 2 kills in the last 2 rounds that have guaranteed the round, right?
Yeah. I know what you mean.
It's difficult for the CT side without full utility to fight back into these. We're talking about difficult bomb sites to retake before. B on Dust 2 sticks out like a sore thumb. But here, if you lose an opening kill within the early stages of the round while your defense is being set up on the other side of things, the rotation time is quite long. And if the Ts are able to get on in a number advantageous situation, the post-plant scenarios they can set up are way too deadly.
Well, as you can see, they don't even think about going for it to save the AK-47 and a P250. Not the greatest of riches to take to the next round, but something, I suppose, as Astralis now string together 3 in a row. We said they had to break their finances first, and they've certainly done that. We're at the mid-stages of this first half now, as Astralis are looking deadlier. It's Zipex is on 2 and 10. Hasn't been the best series for him. Majors with 4, but it's dupreeh and Device providing the bigger numbers as we head into round number 12 here. The MP9s are out. The partial buy is in. Saved AK from the previous round for Crims here. So there is more than enough to win this round of the utility. And SMGs and pistols, but they're going to have to deliver some good utility damage. And they've certainly done so towards Majors, down to 29.
Oh, forced a molly out. That missed, but lucky for them, there isn't anybody still peeking. Can take this very, very slow, Astralis. There's no rush on this one. We get Boiler and Holes control. That spam will give away dupreeh's position. Most likely in the T-side default spread. You have one jumping up into the window room in tandem with a player at the bottom of the hall stairs. That off bullet didn't quite connect, nor did the second, and this one here will. Don't think about knifing him. He did. That's an opening. That's a free AK.
Oh my god, the exposed bottom of JW was just so enticing. dupreeh couldn't help himself.
Oh.
He went out, we wanted to put the knife in the spine, but in the end, it's going to be Brolin who was holding the line. Now, Glaive and Magisk, they've got no health to work with. They've got some time. That's nice, but not much of a luxury given the circumstances. A man disadvantage and an extra rifle now in play.
Yeah, a bit of a nightmare scenario here. Fnatic somehow have found a way through. They've upgraded to the AWP, the AK-47. CZ there still for Flasher as well, and Crims with the AK to boot. We have got a flashbang here coming in from the chimney position, a couple of them, as they try and make their way out of the apartments, and the flash actually missed there towards middle, so this is not looking great.
Yeah, and Crims is going to be able to bait Brolin in nicely. Molly's not even touching him. Ooh, what was that? Good pre-fire, got him real shaken, but Brolin on for 4. Flusher steals it from him, and Fnatic, they convert a half buy, a triple kill from Brolin, and the first wouldn't have even been possible. The AK would not have been in his hands if it wasn't for dupreeh getting a little too knife happy.
Yeah, if it's not part of your everyday game plan, risking it in a moment like this to potentially, you know, show them that you can do it too, might come back to bite you. It seems like Fnatic are more than happy to have the risk of JW doing those plays and rounds falling apart, whereas Astralis on the other side of things, I don't think Zonic would be too impressed with how that one played on out. Now, Fnatic have found themselves a platform here to fight back into this. It was starting to look like the Astralis camp had some steam under it. Aggressive again, this time fast into halls. And the nades towards Banana again. Magus can try and catch a break. He will do some damage back this time over towards Flusher. Both were through the smoke, so no idea for both teams on how much damage they've actually been able to deal out here within the first 35 seconds.
Slow-paced Inferno. It came into a blistering pace to kick things off. dupreeh, though, nice shot from Boilerum, uses that tiny gap towards the balcony position to find Brolan, who's just been picked off time and time again. Device going for the nutmeg. Actually looked like he was rumbled at that point, but still he comes out on top. 5 versus 3 now. They don't have to go towards A at all, but they're applying so much pressure here. Device tucks himself in towards the cubby. JW alone at A. Golden with the orb towards B. Rotation from flusha here, but JW needs a couple of kills desperately to stand a chance of winning this round.
Oh, back turn of dupreeh, that's his start, and perhaps Device falling now becomes a reality. What was a 5v3 has become a 5 versus 2v3. Magisk has made it look a lot better, and just when I thought a chance was starting to open up, a window of opportunity, it's closed very quickly by Magisk.
Yeah, nice work from him. It's just Golden, who is having the AWP on the other side of the map, who can't do anything about this apart from look at some exit kills here. He still has $5,000, and here are the scores so far. No one really dropping off significantly. You can see, considering the scoreline, it's about what you would expect. flusha at the top, though, at 96 ADR. Brolan just beneath him, who feels like he's been getting wrecked in the apartments, but still fragging when required. Same story for Crims.
I want to grab Brolan there, Henry. We're about to head into Skybox from here, and what I want to talk about is the aggressive holes positions that's being taken. So in this round, it was dupreeh who was able to take this area very early, which means the CTs can't move around so much. He gets the kill to Brolan as he's jumping up in transition. They took this very early in the round. That's what I want to point out. The other round, they had holes very early as well. They had Device here with the AWP and another individual here watching the balcony. By doing this, it restricts the movement of the A-site players. The AWP player can actually see all the way over to Moto from here, and also dupreeh, as you can see quad, and even the balcony. So I'll quickly play it out before we get stuck in the other round, but you'll see as Brolan tries to mount on up in a moment. dupreeh's ready for him, and he should be able to take him down any second here.
Uno dos.
There he goes.
It's the tightest of angles as well. That is not an easy shot.
Not by any means.
You have a few pixels between the boiler and that balcony position. So well played from dupreeh to nail it. As Astralis get back underway, they've actually managed to pick up the last 4 out of 5 rounds here, as we'll take a US Air Force tactical timeout. Fnatic calling their first. Had a great start here. Remember, they were 7-1 up. And similar scenes to the first round. See Astralis started to come back slowly but surely. Round 14 now, as the money still in a bit of disarray for the Fnatic side. For masses, MP9's not necessarily a big deal, I suppose, considering who has the weapons. It's flusha, who seems to be a master of anything that's in his hands. But the double orbs out of a Golden and JW to be tested now. JW not looking as effective as he was against FaZe. Remember, 24 kills and that 16-6 victory on this map.
That's a very easy collection for Golden. Magisk just hoping there wasn't anyone holding the aggressive line early, and well, to his death, there is. Oh, baited in perfectly. Dave catching the flash. Device, however, does clawback one straight onto the AWP, no less. AKV AWP. flusha will take it. Quite the upgrade for him over the FAMAS. And so double AWPing on the CT side, being pressured. flusha will fire off a warning shot, and we will see Device surge forward in order to regain control of the lost banana. This is his chance to find another frag, and with flusha flashed off, there is the threat now of construction. He's going to have to deal with a lot here. Just waiting to pull the trigger. Wasn't far off the hip of ZipX, and he actually hits the no-scope. Blind, wild, into the smoke, through the frame. Device working with 17 points of health, but Astralis, they've given it a good shot. Bomb down.
Wow. Is it going to be enough, though? It's been a scrappy round, to say the very least, but they have got themselves a 4-on-3 scenario with ZipX looking to fight in CT spawn. Only got 3 kills so far, but the Molotov down. Smoke towards spawn as well here. The retake will be attempted by Fnatic. They've got kits, but they are running out of time past the halfway point. Are they going to boost up? That looks to be the port of call here, but as soon as JW gets in that position, Device is ready for him. ZipX knows another player is beneath, and now the MP9 tries to make his way towards the C4 here. Astralis fighting for their life at this stage. The spray's coming through. It's not going to be enough. The bomb will be defused, and it looks like there's just enough time here for Fnatic to pick it up. 9-5, as they manage to make it work on the partial buy there. Lovely work, as flusha will get 2 kills, the AWP to close things out. Crims, they'll recover the AWP and extend their lead here. Astralis going to round number 15 with all the money they could possibly require and stick to their AK-47s.
No complaints there. We'll see how flusha got this party started. He just flashed himself into the angle.
Pretty ridiculous
That was
scenes.
the return.
Good shot from
5 halves of Counter-Strike brings us to our final. 3 maps of Astralis Fnatic, but I'm afraid all good things must come to an end, and just one final half to find our conclusion, to find our champion in this best-of-3 affair. It's been a journey. We've had so many highlights and lowlights across the board. Both teams at a peak of form, of course, to even get into the top 6 of Stage 2. And now we're into and off to the races.
We certainly are, or at least we hope so. Astralis now on the back foot, but they move on to the CT side, 9-6. They've got themselves no diffuse kit. They've gone for a bundle of utility instead. They've got ZiPX with the HE flash smoke combo. And in terms of upgraded pistols, nothing to be seen. No CZs, no PD50s, but a bit of an exchange here with the Glock. And it will be Glaive to be dropped. We'll actually continue the assault towards A at this stage, when it's going to be Roland to lead the way, but Dupree ready and waiting from the graveyard.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're going to be committing to this one. I think that one kill was enough to scare him off. Flusher trying to play around the smoke, and Device is going to call it clear.
Nutmegging him.
He is nutmegging him. Look at this rascal go.
Yeah, so he's going to set up while his teammates try and pull everyone over towards his B side of the map. They get this kill especially, he's going to do that. And then Flush is going for the big backstab through CT.
He spammed him.
Did he really? Through the stained glass window?
Yeah.
Is that with a Glock?
With a Glock, 100%. No less.
Well, there you go. That's awesome.
That's something. And now they've lost the round.
And Flusher, remember, he's in CT spawn this entire time. He deserves a kill.
Give the nutmeg a frag.
He's not going to get it, is he? There it is.
We go.
It comes through. That's the round confirmed. Device now alone in 3 versus 1. A wall bang toward the stained glass window.
I'm
really
pretty sure.
I didn't even think it would do damage with a Glock there. So it must have been like a 5 HP or something.
ZiPX was low.
It was part of an assist. So yeah, the player was on low HP when he dropped.
That's nice.
You rarely see it these days, even with the AK spin.
I remember when it was first added, people tried it for a long time.
The angles were all off.
The angles just don't really work out.
Oh, we do have it on replay. Here it is, Crims. Spamming the Glock.
He does get it. Straight through.
That's kind of insane.
Good spot, Chad. I love having you around. 10-6. Fnatic, they win a pistol. We haven't seen many Fnatic pistols, so there we go.
Device has head armor here, and that was granted because he saved all of his armor, didn't take any damage in the previous round, so he could upgrade to that for a cheaper price. As the AWP here, it means that he can actually save some money going on forward, and a liberty that normally in these kind of rounds he would not have. Usually would be taking a save as far as armor is concerned.
So they are quite bolstered, as all things considered.
Yeah, this is going to be a scary round for Fnatic here. We've seen how deadly these have been the last couple of days, how good teams are at holding on to those smokes. But Fnatic, yesterday against FaZe, they dropped that deep arch smoke that I was talking about that creates this gap. You might see it come into play yet again. It'll land to obscure Library and Moto. Gives them an avenue to go through with the mid to B. And Dupree, well, he's the man to deal with all that on the MP9.
A lot to deal with.
Ah, they've used their own smoke. This means they can't go through that arch side at all. So this is from Astralis. They put that smoke down to stop Fnatic from going to the arch side of the map, which means for their anti-eco approach, they now need to go with a different idea.
Or they could wait it out, right?
Well, there's just more smokes on the board. That wasn't even thrown by Dupree. That was thrown by somebody over from A, which landed arch side.
Brutal. There's more where that comes from. But still the smokes start to bloom. One's going to be separating them off from the Library side. And here comes the commitment. Up short, at least one of them. It's going to be Golden's Mac 10. He's looking for heads, and he does find Device. Oh. And even a second onto Magisk. That's ridiculous. That's more than he was worth.
Yeah, huge plays here. Nice Moto smoke in the Mac 10 committing round. It's Golden. It gets 2 towards the arch side. And then at this point, it's Fnatic just absolutely dominating the round. The force buy does nothing for Astralis. They're yet to find a kill. And Flusher, still feeling healthy on 91 points of health. Looks for a bit of extra cash here. If you can farm out the Mac 10, that'd be great. Remove any deadly weapons for the next round. It's going to be 5-7s for both Glaive and ZiPX.
You saw Glaive get a real nice little 3K before. They're actually going to be smoking off coffins like they're almost executing for the hunt.
Yeah, they're Molotoving first oranges, smoking coffins here. It's like a B take, but they're just hunting for the remaining players. Well, they've given themselves up now. They know they're stuck in towards Ruins, and JW going for the spam here. I feel like they get one of these players, probably not both. Do they want to commit to it? JW, he's having a go, and there it is. Might even get both. That's huge. $1,200 towards the end. Gets them just after the bomb explodes as well as Golden a quad. That second kill was beautiful, and Crims pretty standard by his levels, but the last two from JW, that's where it all came together.
Yeah, Golden jumping over the smoke, just enough elevation to place his crosshair on the opponent on the other side of the guys. That's lovely. And it puts it 11 for Fnatic. They are getting dangerously close right out of the gates of this second half.
Yeah, but they've been close rounds, so that's 2-0, but now the full eco comes in from Astralis. They invest in a little bit of utility there. The HE's towards middle.
That's so nice to take top banana control. For people who missed that routine of mollies, that is perfection.
Just a carpet bomb of flame, top of banana.
So just a matter of time, I would say, before Fnatic find the victory here. But the Zeus is out and about. Holds towards Boiler right now for any inquisitive T's walking up towards middle. But a B finish looking likely. Remember, they've only got USPs here. They've already taken about 150 damage at this point. Molotov over towards first oranges, and that's where ZipX is positioned, but it doesn't seem to be landing at his feet. Here's JW somehow,
of course,
some way on the A side towards Library, as his teammates getting ready to go.
Here we go.
B.
Hold up, this is our chance.
I don't think he
in
gets
sync.
This.
Nearly,
I was
nearly.
ready for it.
You were, and respect. I actually almost was about to say you got it.
I want to show the viewers at home, guys, those Molotovs and why they were so potent.
Yeah,
so
yes.
I'm going to see if we can bring this up on Skybox. I've slowed it down to 0.75 speed. So check this out. First molly denies the aggression. Second molly denies the top banana aggression. Third molly locks anybody in at sandbags. You dead. That is just great. The whole top of banana, the CTs have no ownership of that part of the map. It's really good stuff to see.
Yeah, and you can't give anything away, even when you know they've got USPs in this round. How many rounds have we seen either just Glocks across the board or USPs win? You have to treat them like gun rounds. Like we used to just say that about partial buys, now down to the full eco round.
It's crazy.
That's how good everyone's got.
It's a rough world out there sometimes, and indeed, it's just down to that fact. Everyone knows how to get the most out of very little. As we'll see 12-6 come through. Fnatic now with the MAC-10s up against 3 players of our helmets. That's going to be Glaive, Magisk, and ZipX. So watch out for them going down to the SMGs. Ooh. JW lines up the dribble smoke for the apartment position here. Lands on top of the hay bales and gives you a nice avenue. Oh, he's actually kind of fluffed it. It hasn't really gone where he wanted it to at all. It's kind of useless, Alex, I'm afraid.
Okay, so a little bit of an issue means that Magisk is no longer alone holding balcony. He's pulled into the most passive line he could, and through the flames, he leaps straight to his demise. He has managed to get 4 CTs actively defending the wrong bomb site, though. And ZipX, he doesn't need teammates, at least not for the first 2. Fnatic, they're shaken, but they may not surrender just yet. Golden's having a mad one. A 3rd kill, perhaps an ace clutch. He is going to have time to get the bomb down. Now it's a question of where he chooses to position for the fight.
Reloads the gun, HE available. If this first kill lands in his favor, he could be onto something magical, but dupreeh will shut down his efforts. Very good efforts, I have to say there. The fact he managed to get 3 kills in that scenario was just magical, but it's going to be Magisk and dupreeh saving the Krieg now, and the AK-47 taking that T-sided weaponry. This is where they start to come online as they find their first round in the second half. That's 3-1, but it could be the start of many more.
See the JW strafe,
so you
see how
see
fast he moved.
The idea is dupreeh shouldn't have vision there with the smoke towards the hay bales, so he can actually just focus on the pit player, but he did not land the smoke. If it does actually go off by even a couple of inches, it lands in between the hay bales and goes inside it. And that's exactly what happened there, and it enables dupreeh to get a few kills in the round. But I don't think that was a difference maker regardless, even if he nailed the smoke.
It did work in the sense of holding it back. The fake worked wonderfully, but I don't think Fnatic accounted for a ZipX double kill as the solo defender of the site. Gets the 2, and despite what Golden did contribute, too many bodies dropped before that came in. 12-7, second tactical timeout called by Astralis, the US Air Force bringing you this. But we're back into the fray. 10 seconds thrust onto the clock as they make their final calls.
Fnatic win this round right here. This is basically the game at this point. The loss bonus for Astralis is only at 2,400, which means going into next round they have to limp on in with another partial buy, almost securing Fnatic that 14th round, and then at that point it just feels like a matter of time. So if Astralis want to battle back in on Inferno, it needs to start here. They need consecutive rounds in a row.
See if that's the case. It's Glaive though, the master. of the banana area. Flasher will be dropped. That's going to be a duel you'll see time and time again as this second half continues. Good rebuttal, though, from Golden. Does get the spray through the smoke. Takes a little bit of damage for his troubles there, but the gap works in his favor. dupreeh now towards Speedway, wondering where he needs to be positioned. Does he back up his teammates in the form of ZipX towards B, who's a solid anchor, or boost the defenses towards A and have 3 players there? He's gone for the first option here as Golden, again, just tries to hold 2 players in position, baiting out utility, finding those incendiaries. Is there anything left available for Astralis? ZipX has nothing. dupreeh has a smoke. If Golden can get that out of them at the 1-minute mark, that'd be fantastic. It could be enough for them to fall back towards B.
Until that happens, Device.
Okay.
He had very few options, and Golden's even opened up B. They're opening up both sides at the same time. His spray's not too far off. dupreeh, 1 bullet would have taken him down. 1 bullet continues to have the option to take him down. A Glock for JW does imply the same, and I said 1 bullet. I didn't mean it, because apparently 12 damage from the Glock was not enough. Still, Crims will save the day before I run out of breath, and so Magisk is presented with a 1 versus 2. He's heading in from Banana, and he doesn't have a kit. That could be quite a large issue, given the fact that there is going to be 2 Fnatic members just letting that clock rot in these after-plant positions. 1 emo, 1 new box.
Yeah, they're in the hardest positions right now for Magisk. It was a good attempt, but now, like I mentioned just before, this is where it becomes difficult. Money for Device and Glaive. I guess I could argue dupreeh, it's not horrible. There's enough to get something going, but not a buy, not a gun round, nothing to be potent against the way that Fnatic are approaching this situation. Golden is the MVP of that round. He has walked into the site after losing an opening pick, given a 1v1 duel against Glaive, won that, continued to hang around, baited out utility, forced the rotation, was in a position where he could listen for rotations, gets another kill. And wild scenes.
They found themselves up against the pistols here. The flames go down once again towards the banana area. It looks like Golden will be on for a few frags here, looking for the hat trick now. Device, he'll be behind the sandbag position, but I don't think it'll provide that much cover. It's Golden on the Golden run, it seems, as he makes his way in towards B. Unfortunately met by the Desert Eagle of dupreeh. It might be enough to get him a second kill here, you know, but Flashout will shut down that prospect quickly into the 4-on-1 with Magisk all the way on the other side of the map. Round done. Maybe he gets a consolation frag, but no. Fnatic look like they're on course to actually close this one out.
Yeah, just like that. I mean, I'm expecting more resistance.
Yeah.
Chad painted the picture of the ramifications of losing the round prior. So yes, 14 has been painted now for Fnatic, but Astralis, they're going to be having, what, 1 more bite of the cherry here?
Yeah, if that. And this is now 5-1 on the T side for Fnatic. But Astralis, it might sound outlandish at this point, but they can still bring this back and win in regulation. It's that sort of map. If they just can pull a few rounds together, make it look clean, they'll be on course to do so.
And that's a fantastic start. Can't ask for a better one. Device just neutralizing the early mid swing of J-Dubs. Swapping their pieces around. Sending ZipX back to bolster the A site. Brolin, he is in such a tight line that... oh my god.
Could have worked.
He was actually trying for the reaction as well on such a tight line. The guy's got some faith in his aim. I respect it.
5-on-4. Device gets a bit of an opening kill for free. He now transitions over towards B. He'll be joined by Glaive as Golden trying to jump on towards the sandbags here, bait out the shot. He knows what's waiting on the other side. Device doesn't take the bait and sends him packing. And we are going to have ZipX holding an arch. 2 players towards quad. Should be no way Brolan can crack this open, but we know what he's capable of. Not the cleanest of sprays here. Surely goes down to dupreeh, which he will. The M4 doing well here. And Magisk with the mop up. No problem at all. 4 players survive. And as I mentioned, they start getting clean rounds like this, Alex. This is where they can come online and actually still win in regulation. That is still very possible.
Yeah, I mean, it can spiral so fast in Counter-Strike, right? And now we've got a Krieg on the CT side. Keep our eyes on that. Another AK as well. So 3 T weapons being equipped by the Astralis squad coming into round 23. Margin for error for the Danes has really been vacuumed out of the map.
Well, Counter-Strike will continue. This is only our first best of 3 of the day. We have Na'Vi versus OG coming up next as well. Another big-ticket matchup. As we get into the next round here, Fnatic looking to close things out here. managing to take down FaZe yesterday 2-1. If they got Astralis as well in stage 2 of the format, that would be remarkable. What a fantastic way to kick things off. 2 huge scalps, 2 of the biggest in the group. And they're so close to finding it.
So close. I mean, to continue in this stead, oh my god, it's a massacre. It looked like an eco bash, but it was not. dupreeh just popped 2 heads like that. That AK, 1 bullet to the dome. He's feeling the benefits. Magisk was 2. 70 seconds, and already they've lost 3 of their teammates. Poor Flusher and JW, they're going to try and level the odds, but straight into the crosshairs. They will go down, at least one of them, cut just to Flusher. And I think his movements imply he's also accepting the 9th for Astralis here.
Yeah, I think you might be right there. Not really much he could do with this. AWP in hand, 20 kills to his name, just looking to potentially take a few members of Astralis with him. Don't have a ton of money behind this. They'll be down to just $1,900 on the loss bonus. Would be better off saving right now than going for it. Oh, that after flashbang has been heard, and ZiPhX will be taking him down, no problem whatsoever. And we go 14-9, 2 rounds in a row. Like I said, no loss bonus on the T side. This is eco territory. You can definitely partial buy into it, but it should be double digits for Astralis. I would say a tactical timeout for Fnatic just to discuss their options and work out how they're going to operate going forward.
The question is, do they want to keep the CT funding low or
Astralis here. They're ready for this approach, but that means they have given up banana control. So this execute with the smoke and Molotov could come on through here very, very quickly from Fnatic. There we go, they've read the play. Third man on B, this should be quite simple to deal with. Unless they have other ideas.
Unless that was enough of a cue to get the smoke deployed and 3 CTs set up to receive. And now it depends on the pace of Fnatic. They could catch the 2 unawares. It's Device as well. He's going for some close quarters AWPing. That is powerful, yes, but capable of being overwhelmed if the T's move fast enough. Very tight line by Device, but he still manages to connect the shot. He can fall back immediately. He is going to be vulnerable to apartments where they've all just burst out. Suddenly there's a lot of unknowns, but Magisk, he's solving all of the mysteries at this one. All 3 of them, as he's looking for a 4th. Good damage from the nade, not really. Device, however, loses his AWP, and the Deagle from Crims has got a couple more players to find. Already, 2 kills with the Desert Eagle. It shouldn't really be much more.
Yeah, he only had 1 bullet left in the magazine there, but he does go for the reload. A chance for 1 more kill, I would say. There would have to be one hell of a shot towards the graveyard. ZiPhX now challenging from Arch. Doesn't have to make this one. Can just hold the bomb. Don't want to risk losing anymore, and that's going to be it. It will be a good effort there from Crims, but double digits. Like I said, once they get to this mark and the money starts to run thin for Fnatic, they could actually come back in 16-14 this. That's 3 rounds in a row for Fnatic. A lot more where that came from, but this is the prerequisites to actually get them in contention for the victory here. As manages to spraying them down 1 by 1. Very iconic position of his. Crims, good job.
Good shot. Something so satisfying about just stopping a CT dead in their tracks. Boosting up. You don't get to see this all too often. Once or twice a half. dupreeh trying to nade the balcony position.
Yeah, no one there to receive it, unfortunately. 1 round for series points. Fnatic. You can see their play style not as loose right now. A bit more structure behind it. Playing together. Trying to get that control. And this is a boost towards the new boxes here, eventually. See them get up. It's going to be Glaive. Just holding allows you to avoid the flashbangs if you stand up like that. Potentially the flames as well if you're lucky. Smoke from Mages now towards Boiler, so he can just focus his efforts there. From that angle, you can actually look towards top of middle still from those window sills. Smoking towards coffins, but looks to be a bit of a bait smoke, just to force out some utility. They still have residual smoke grenades available, and 5 players coming in towards B, but the man at the hour, Device, has missed many in this second half, ready and waiting in CT spawn. Is that a missed smoke above him?
Could
Not sure. It sounded a bit weird.
Yeah.
No, it's just in front of the site, so there we go. We've got a Fnatic one.
Appropriately named, and at the moment, appropriately gamed by ZiPX. Double kill. No one was checking that position. He could even find a third, but JW and Crimson to the site. They will not surrender. God, they've got no health. 36 points of health between the two of them. Device is going for some crazy wall bangs in the same way Crims had previously found. And not to be just yet. Really shouldn't be a chance for a 15th here from Fnatic, despite the bomb being planted.
Well, if they can focus their efforts towards Device, that would be the best way to get the next kill.
Nade? Watch this. Ooh, okay. Not quite gonna dunk him, and good spray from Crim softens him up. JW has to go crazy here. Needs the high health player to go down first. He's being hunted by the low, and Dupree will convert in the end.
There was a world where one player gets in the bomb and the low HP player rushes him down, but there it is. The defuse comes through, and in terms of lost bonus, there'll be a maximum next round. So with the bomb planted, they still have a serviceable buy available to them, but they are running out of time at this point. Around $4,000, you can see ZiPX not even a flash at this point. They're all focusing towards CT spawn. He gets himself a couple of easy frags there with the Krieg, no problem whatsoever. Round 26 coming through. We have gone the full distance here in this series as we take yet another US Air Force tactical timeout called by Fnatic this time. They're second so far in this series. Remember, they were 7-1 up at one point. Both Astralis and Fnatic have won 4 of their 5 past series matchups. So yes, indeed, looking like they're in great form. We'll see now if this is where Fnatic want to buy into it. We've got $4,000 per player, remember. That's enough for an AK, armor, and smoke. You might just want to go for another partial buy at this stage, which seems to be their approach. Crims can maybe go for one hero rifle if he really wants to opt for the Deagle armor instead. So, should be another round for Astralis. If Fnatic can find this and relieve some of that pressure, they should close things out. There's enough for an execution, but they have started to slow things right down ever since they got to touching distance of the victory.
We said this one was going to deliver, and it looks like we might be going the distance here unless we can have another Fnatic miracle.
They've had their fair share, haven't they?
Yeah, they've had quite a few. I think even Astralis has had 1 or 2 this game. So, ooh, Dupree, Molotov into the smoke. He's going to get punished for it. This is what we're talking about, the speed. Oh,
the speed and the agility. Look at Brolin go. He's already trying to challenge CT, but Glaive was so ready for it. He will cut them down to size very quickly, but the wrap onto A could overwhelm Device. Look at that, one dink and he's gone. Magisk trying to stand his ground, and that's a phenomenal spray. He's even going to find a third here. Golden's not ready for it. Magisk single-handedly defends the A site.
Valiantly as well. That was getting out of control. Chad's absolutely right there. The CZ, if you get that initial quick kill, you just keep holding W. Smoke off towards Arch. Swarm the bombs, have a couple of flashes. You got to catch everyone with the grenades out, and it's very difficult to contain the T's at that point. Some way, though, Major steps up, manages to get 3 in total as that third kill towards the All-Pro JW. That should secure the round here, but Flusher remains. And he's in a 2 versus 1.
He's going to win this round. I don't know why, I just have that feeling.
If he had the bomb in his back, I would agree with you. The fact he doesn't, I don't know how he would even be given a kill.
Like, both of the CTs know where the bomb is and where he typically plays. They're working with the same information we have.
But the one thing Flusher has going for him is the idea that they could both be playing around the bomb, which they are. When you have these situations and you play the bomb, it means that he doesn't have to worry about as many corridors. But with 20 seconds left on the clock, now it's time, the biggest issue.
So they can dump their smoke on him, their flash at this point. So
He's even got a scope on that Krieg. That fight really favors him, and yeah, Magisk will find himself the quad kill at the end. Just to add extra insult to injury, a single hold of the site up against the half buy of Fnatic, but it will be the full now. We get to see that again from his POV. This second frag onto JW was everything. Just taking that corner of the box duel enabled him to separate into 3 1v1s. Otherwise, JW and Golden both swinging in together, that's not going to be much more for Magisk.
Yeah, Magisk actually getting 4 kills in total there. Big ones as well. Against partially bought Fnatic, they aren't easy frags to get. Especially at close range, they were swarming him. They have got a full buy now, though. The Kriegs, the AKs, and the AWP of JW have no helmet, just to note things. Starting to slow down for them. They've lost 5 rounds in a row now. Astralis still can do this in regulation. They've got all the money in the world. They've got Kriegs available to them. Inside is looking strong for now. ZiPX throws over grenades towards the barrels. No one there to receive it. Flash down to 56, though. ZiPX now just waits with the smoke in hand. He has got backup from Glaive. Holding towards coffins, dodging flashes. It's a mid-approach here. As Fnatic do push them back, Astralis are deep in the bomb site, and Brolan's taken another one from Boiler.
Wow. That's shutting down a very strong prong of the defense of Astralis. Now, what do you build off of that? You've got the early man advantage for the first time in a while, pulls more utility out of the CTs. They're running out just a single incendiary and smoke. They might even want to run boost over this. It's like Golden's talking about something of that ilk.
This could be a Fnatic classic, just running this clock down and stringing out the rotation. Astralis have made a huge gamble. They've rotated everybody over towards A. B's completely open.
Oh my goodness, a straight gamble stack. It's such a crucial round of the game. It could be a bloodbath. Golden's already caught Glaive. And now they turn it around and they're going to the open site. This is ridiculous Counter-Strike. xyp9x could cut them off. He has just the one prong. Golden's gone, 3v3.
Is it enough though? xyp9x with the Krieg, he'll have to bide his time. His teammates know it to be seen. He'll concede the plant. Incendiary's a little bit late, but it does make things uncomfortable. JW, this shot very important. He somehow doesn't hit it. Of all the shots he's landed today, that's the one he misses.
Unbelievable.
And now a chance for Astralis where they have the advantage here. No utility on the T side. flusha and Brolan essentially playing solo Counter-Strike at this point. They can't work off each other. And Brolan gets two through the smoke. What just happened there?
He jumped over the smoke and saw them both.
He got the info by jumping off the sandbags. He has to do it all now. Brolan, he knows where it's planted. Device is running away, and Brolan makes it a quad kill. A stylish one at that. I want to see that double kill again, because I swear, Chad, you saw it too.
Yeah.
Using the sandbags for that extra little bit of elevation makes an impossible hold. He didn't have any sightline. He couldn't hold the emo push, but he makes a hole, he makes a gap, and he gets a double. This is how the round started for Brolan, and that's just a ridiculous catch. You see xyp9x did put some pressure on from the flank. This is his third with the missed shot from JW, but look at this. Jumps, sees, sprays.
Oh my god.
Madness.
Ridiculous round from Brolan.
They needed one of those to get 15. It felt like Astralis were mounting.
That's the only way. I said that going into the mid stages of this game. If Astralis came online and they got a few rounds in a row, they got 5 in a row, I didn't see a world where Fnatic could actually get back into this. It looked like they were shrinking. They needed someone to step up and do something insane. Brolan has done that now. He's relieved that pressure. That valve has been taken off, and now they can go back to the Fnatic Counter-Strike. They know they've guaranteed overtime at this point. They can start playing a little bit looser and start presenting a bit more aggression, perhaps, as now they will enter with less money, admittedly. We've got Crims on the MAC-10, but he knows the money's affected on the CT side as well. It's going to be xyp9x with no helmet, dupreeh with no rifle, and this could be the final round. Has Brolan done enough for them?
Astralis going to have to be careful not to keep shaking their heads. This round continues to play out. They're going to be a little spun out after that one. Not a high utility damage round. I spoke too soon. flusha will catch a late one from the CTs, but overall, pretty much a full healthy squad of 10 juking it out on the server in round 28. I say that Golden has been sent to the grave. Devices AWP on CT Arch does eliminate the initial mid threat, but there's more where that came from. JW and Brolan congregating up towards the mid side, and now JW want to deploy that smoke. This is the powerful smoke you were talking about, Chad.
Yeah, especially for players playing back in Library, exactly where Devices and Moto. He has to rotate around now and play over towards the Arch side, which leaves the two A defenders very vulnerable.
Very isolated. They don't have their AWPer in support now. That is the power of one smoke grenade. But it does still require some 1 joules, and I have a sneaking suspicion that Brolan could get caught out here. He's so separate from the pack. MAhvMh7zeuwoKCDZ5hJiBX12YBJbhjfLTs jumping for info. He knows there's one pit as well. He can just wait this out. And now the duel comes in. He's not ready for the swing, and MAhvMh7zeuwoKCDZ5hJiBX has caught them. Astralis, 2 frags. Already Fnatic starting to crumble. flusha has to adjust. He's not ready. Damn, that's a clean round from the CT side. Device will put the cherry on top. 5 players' hearts still beating to secure 13.
I think that secures overtime as well. Fnatic now with just around $3,000 per player. Might be another tactical timeout, and do they throw caution to the wind and invest fully into this round and go for a rush and try and shut down Device, catch him off guard, or they go for the more conservative approach and have another partial bite and try and close it out at round number 30. Either way, a very convincing round here from the Danes. Didn't break a sweat here, and they have gone for the partial. Just CZs and Deagles, we know what they can do with these sort of weapons. Could still end here, but it's unlikely. Device has been finding openings left, right, and center. We'll see if he can continue to do so now as we get into the last few rounds.
Oh, didn't limp the grenade over the wall, actually threw it deeper into everybody, and Glaive, he's going to follow up with the spam onto Golden, going down the first member in consecutive rounds back-to-back now. Still 4 angry Fnatic players on the other side of that smoke, waiting to make their move. Looks like they're discussing who's throwing what and how this one's going to unfold as they were just staring at each other with grenades out in banana.
Yeah, this is just going to be one of those smoke spawn, smoke coffins, flash over, hope for the best. We've all been there.
Yeah.
It doesn't normally work out.
But that's what it will be. It's what it has to be given the current circumstances. 2 smokes, maybe 1 CT. One definitely going coffins. Yep, there they bloom, and here comes their doom. Glaive just tap into their heads. Candy Crush Saga. Popping the candies.
If this stalls out with the bomb down, it's going to be very difficult for them to find any more kills to do economical damage going into the last. This should just be a very quick mop up. Flashes come in, and there it is.
Yeah, not really much to report here. We do go to round number 30. Astralis have convinced me they're going to overtime here. After being 7-1 down, they have had to fight their way back into this, and their second half has been nothing short of superb. After being at a massive disadvantage, they have managed to pull it all the way back, picking up 4 out of the last 5 rounds. 1 more would do it to get the great reset here. They would remain on the CT side, 16k start money as well. Everything would be fully reset, and Fnatic, their morale would be low.
So Astralis are opening this 30th round with a 3-man B setup. They send the AWPer there. And that's going to be Device just responsible for the early banana hold. They'll get flashed off and make sure that they hear the shot. It wasn't like he was actually aiming for anyone in particular so much as it was just to make sure that the AWP presence is seen should he rotate back around.
This could be a Fnatic classic here. One of these rounds where they just milk the clock down to the final 20-25 seconds and do the last-minute fakes, which just keeps their opponent on their toes and guessing. I remember back in Malmo, the one that Flusher called on Inferno with the faked footsteps and then the banana presence. That one was mental.
Oh, yeah. He jumped over half wall with the bomb on his back and then ran A.
Could it be replicated, though? They're going to have to find some sort of opening here. It feels like Astralis have just taken the opening frag in the last few rounds. By virtue of that sniper rifle, Device, one of the masters, the defensive AWPing. 50 seconds remain. Chad might be onto something here. They're going to smoke motor, but looks at things as they start to reposition. Goes towards Library. See if that's enough to take the vision away from Glaive.
Smoke blooms, he jumps for info. A lot of players are really starting to refuse to bow down to the gaps in these smokes. He's actually pushed ahead of it. Brolin can sneak through.
Yeah, that is enough. That is a straight up. So he's a smoke down, you've gone through the gap, and there's no real indication as to where he came from. A 5 versus 4. Can they close it out now? Fnatic have the advantage. They know where Magus is, and Brolan somehow survives. Between these multiple frags here, Magus will find 1 and a 3 versus 2 now. As the rotating players are stuck towards Library and the top of middle. Bomb to be planted. Device left with ZiPX here. Flashbang is perfect to hold him off.
JW's duel onto Magisk, that was so important. By shutting down that pit player after only just 1, it looked like he was set for a multi-kill. So quick AWPing from him, and now he's gone down. He gets hunting, gets a bit horny, and now Brollan and Crims to stop it from happening. And now 1 more. ZiPX the clutch to take us to overtime. It's on Crims. Crims has done it, and so have Fnatic. They remain unbeaten. 2 for 0. 2 of the biggest scalps in the 6 of Stage 2. They've taken down Astralis.
Fly so high they can't touch us. So top notch, none above us. We done came so far, now we up now. Had a vision, stuck to it, never back down. Never had much, now we own the whole thing. Spread it all around the world, watch it all change. Came alive, now they all see the greatness. Light shine so high they can't take it.
Dancing with my fear, burning with desire. We gon' take it to the edge and come alive. Go to hell and back just to feel the fire. We gon' turn up in this place and come alive.
Fly so high they can't touch us. Never 101, teamwork till we done. Sent on a mission, we got ambition. Never scared, we won't run. Never one and done. Some sit back and some like the hunt. I pick my teammates up when they fall. And if I ball, we all ball. Crashing balls, crossovers and all. Just call us the balls. Don't fear nothing, call us galore. Serving them all. We outside, we barely indoors. Because we gave it everything when we had nothing. Gave it everything when we had nothing.
You want to go back out into the cold?
More than ever.
The past is written, but we are left to write the future.
Ain't no going back.